And we are back at it again with Whispers of the Atheneum presents session 42nd of Echoes of the Forgotten. It's been about 6 weeks, I think, 5 to 6 weeks, since our last go around with this campaign, and it's fun. I'm going to reintroduce everyone once more because we haven't done it in a while. I'm just going to bump up some music because it's a bit quiet at the moment. But I am your DM. I am one of your DMs. I am Sky Flourish, or AJ. With me is my partner in crime, also in the justice system in this campaign, Tomato Revenge, also known as Darian. He's the co-GM. Left from right from here. Playing Terra, we have the lovely Zisera, or Mim. Playing Osiris, we have Full Metal, or Jeremy. Playing Christine, we have fan favorite of the channel, Starcluster Clay. Okay.
A good thing.
We have Xavier, my brother, Dimitri, or Nox Skyfall.
Yo.
Playing Arkfa is Sam, or Snowfox AU.
Hi.
And playing Selena is Castle Swift. Sorry, I blanked on your handle.
Playing Selena is that person.
That person, sorry, girl.
We don't use your handle.
We don't use her handle, which is why I forget it. But we're live. Before we get into recap, we got some art done of Xavier, so I'm gonna quickly share it with everyone and you guys to have a quick look. This is by, I believe, I Love something. James Loves Art. And Xavier is cool. He looks good. If you zoom real in, you can. Oh, you can't really zoom real in, but
real in, you can get pixels.
you can get pixels. But there's like I think there's like a Millennium Eye sort of deal with a sword through it in the eye. It just doesn't render super good on Fantasy Grounds.
Yep.
Probably just a low.
I can put the picture in the chat so that they can see it.
Yeah, I think Fancy Guys has converted it pretty badly, but that's all good. It still looks good even though
It's good.
full blown.
It's good art. With that, I think we'll have Darian start off with what happened last time.
Last time on Echoes, the gatekeepers split up across Kerrigan Island to pass time before being mostly brought together for a big family dinner. Questions were asked, and Osiris's family did their best to make the party feel welcome while also satisfying their curiosity about the world and what Osiris had been up to. Once dinner was over, the family moved to a large bonfire for more talks and semi-celebrations about the temporary homecoming of their year-long lost hatchling. Not being in the most celebratory moods, the party broke away one by one and returned to Osiris's now rebuilt home. Jakova took this opportunity to say some words over the grave of Merlot and give what funeral rites he could as per his own traditions. The next morning, Xavier approached Christine to apologize for being as aggressive with his beliefs as he had been in the past, and sought to close the gap that had grown between himself and some of the party. After repairs were completed on the ship, the party climbed aboard the rowboat and set sail, heading off for the temple that Selena sought. Travel was uneventful until the final day, where they passed a much larger ship sitting idle at sea. The men on board watched them as they passed, but made no moves of pursuit. Reaching the island that held the Temple of Priestess, their ship was small enough to be able to fully dock along the stone outcropping that was present. Once they disembarked, they approached the temple and were quickly accosted by a menagerie of middle-aged to elderly priests. Ecstatic over the new blood taking the Devage trials, they gave the party a tour of the temple and got into minor arguments with people over the nature of when to cast magic and other such topics. Party, being suspicious, since they believed something was going on here, questioned everything, looked for secrets where they could, and while investigating, another group arrived and were welcomed into the temple. These individuals were the totally not cartel members of Professor Captain Edikaz and his retinue of definitely not alchemists and thugs. They brought a series of crates into the temple and explained they provide food and supplies for the priests. Not trusting this, like everything else, the party all but ignored them when possible and continued their investigations, even deciding to ignore strange sounds they heard that night. The next day, Selena, Terra, and Osiris joined the priests in going underwater to help them on an errand, discovering they were collecting samples of the Tucitus urchin for unknown purposes, though this piqued the players' interests. Up above, the rest of the party continued searching and quickly discovered clues for more nefariousness hidden behind a bookshelf and inside a lead-lined crate. Entering the hidden passage, they discovered a lab where Edikaz's men were prepping the Sutis, and very quickly a fight broke out. Most of the alchemists tried to flee, but were butchered by Jakova and Christine. The large lizard folk, who was confused about the whole endeavor, attempted to trade blows with Xavier, and Osiris returned for a breath of air right as the commotion started, and was shortly joined by Selena and Terra, who was currently an octopus. With liberal use of fireballs and little regard for the burnable goods of the temple and the livelihood of those inside, Edikaz and his men were defeated quickly and harshly. Several of the priests attempted to stop the fighting by putting people to sleep, but their efforts earned them several beatings and having two of them attack each other. Now, standing over the bleeding body of Edikaz, with a wall of elderly priests at the top of the stairs, we continue with, I think you should leave.
Okay. For starters, I've got Terra right next to me. I'm going to wake Terra up.
Yep, you use an action to wake Terra, who you awake in octopus form. You are shaken lightly.
I assume I see that everything's kind of taken care of.
Yeah, you come to wake up with like three priests standing at the top of the stairs, one of which is a fourth one is currently being helped aside, unconscious, by a fifth who is in the room still. You've got the bleeding body of that Yonti man on the ground, kind of below Christine is, and the rest of the party is here.
I look
Okay,
to
yes, sir.
Osiris. What do you want me to do?
Cyrus drags the body to the water's edge.
Mm-hmm. Did you say?
Leaving a thick trail of blood behind you.
Help with that. I am going to leave Osiris to do what he will with this man's.
At this point, there seems to be maybe one or two left of the alchemists who survived, who have, through being beaten, falling down the stairs, have eventually made their way to probably the closest rowboat that you can see on the map, and have begun the preparations of pushing it to start swimming.
How quickly could I get there?
Very quickly.
Okay, this is an absolute mess. Alright. One of them was knocked out, weren't they?
Yeah, the unconscious priest is currently is past the wall of elderly priests and is being helped by another one of them.
Will you let me heal him?
They step aside for you.
Thank you. I just throw a cure wounds down on it. Do I need to roll for that, or do I just...
They're up.
Yeah, they're up again. So you step past the row of priests, and they, as soon as you pass, they step back into place, forming the barricade. Osiris, what are you doing with the body?
So, as he drags him to the water's edge, only moments pass, but a whole scenario has played out in Osiris' head of him drowning this individual. And throughout the very small moments he goes to, stops, puts the body down, and walks away.
As...
So they're still... Sorry, you go.
Yeah, so basically they're surrounding, like, there's you, the person you're healing, and then everyone else has formed like a semicircle around them, basically preventing from Aqua and Xavier, the only two left in the building, to get near this body. And, like, they're all death staring, the two of them.
One sec.
So they're staring me?
Yep.
They're looking both of you. And one of them decides, like, I think we just asked if you could please leave the temple.
We should get out of here. We should go.
I think that you need to understand the gravity of the situation you have put your people
Please. Xavier.
in. There is a
Please.
lead-lined box filled with poison.
I'm going to fix that, I promise.
So the priests are asking both of us to get out, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Aqua's already charging at them, telling them to get out of the way.
They step aside as soon as you're running down this. So they move and you can get outside.
Yeah, Aqua's gonna be charging for the, he wants to, make sure they don't leave.
At this point, they've kicked off, and like the two of them like started rowing. Though they're not particularly strong.
I like them rowing faster when they see Akra and they're just like, oh shit!
Yeah,
Don't let them leave.
Want me to roll athletics or acrobatics?
go for it.
Go for it.
Just roll athletics or acrobatics, whichever you want to make that jump as they push off.
Would that be with or without advantage? I'm just trying to think here.
You raging still?
It's just he was raging.
Okay.
But was that really a fight?
I feel the beating.
I was being, like I said, I was being non-lethal to them.
He was.
I tried not to kill any of them. Some of them were just very squishy to fist.
Yeah, with a
Our colleagues at the boat.
with a 23. With a 23, you just miss the boat. As Tez said, when they see you running, they're like, "Oh fuck!" They put all their strength into quickly rowing. You miss by like 5 feet, so you like it's not far away enough that you can't catch up, but it's like you miss the jump because of this brief adrenaline.
Do I make it then if I have to swim and get onto the boat that way?
Oh, not far at all. It's like an extra little bit of movement to do so. It's just that you missed the jump initially.
Okay, well I will grab onto the side after a moment.
Okay.
I want them to believe that they had a chance to get away.
So,
Okay.
before we get back, what is everyone else doing? Because so far we've had Osiris going down there and leading the body at the bottom. Selena, you're still inside, or do you step back outside?
She's still surrounded the people. She's sort of trying to get Xavier to come out.
Terra the Octopus, what are you doing?
Terror
Are you
at the
still stuck
moment
to
is just-
Selena?
Yeah, she's still just sticking to Selena's arm, just kind of watching things, so if something turns bad, she can pop herself and help.
Christine?
I feel like when like some people were moving back up, the rest are running out, I would have probably moved up towards where like the entryway would have been and just like kind of put myself against the archway itself, the doorway itself, just to kind of watch in, just to see like, you know.
They're sort of blocking. They're sort of like blocking that area.
Oh, they are. Then I'll just like move up
Yeah.
just to see what's happening.
Like there's enough room for Xavier to get out, but they're not letting
Yeah.
anyone into the temple area.
I'd basically be like as close as I can be, not really like paying them too much mind, more so just seeing what's happening and like just waiting to see how the situation develops.
And Xavier, were you leaving?
No. I'm going towards the priests. Do any of you have detect poison?
They don't answer. They just stare at you.
Do any of you have
Xavier.
detect magic?
No response from them. And in the slight, while you're waiting for a response from them, you hear a slight thump before a massive cloud of smoke occupies the space where Cyrus and Christine are outside, as there is a bright orange flash as Edikaz's body explodes.
Oh my
Need
god!
both of you to roll a dex saving throw, please.
Nice.
Okay.
Want me to roll one as well?
Nope, you're inside.
You're on Selena.
Alright, yeah, now that's reactionary. See what that is, and we'll decide. I'm going to, since I haven't yet, don't think I'm gonna do that.
You take
17 for me.
Osiris. You take
Oh, let's go. Let's
I'm
die.
glad.
28 fire damage, and Christine, you take 14
Ooh. Hang on.
14?
Yep.
28.
fire
29,
damage.
30, 31, 32, 33.
That's. I think you're. Yeah, you're
Reduced to
down.
0 hit points.
Exactly.
He's down. He's not dying, but the shockwave of Osiris walking away after the body, it just hits him. He's engulfed, and you turn back as soon as the fireball dispenses itself. You see Osiris laying on the ground, covered in soot.
After like that rough explosion, I would want to rush to like straight to like kind of catch him before like he falls properly to the floor, and just like pull out because I don't have any healing spells prepared to pull out a healing pot.
And for Akfa, as you're pulling yourself up onto their boat, like one of the alchemists is like brought up a paddle to try and hit you with it. Then the explosion happens, and he just drops the paddle in like surprise because he didn't know it was gonna happen.
I can pull
Clearly.
myself up then.
Yeah, no, it's any attempt to stop you was stopped by a sudden detonation of his boss.
I advise you turn this around.
Yeah. Alright. Don't kill us. Truce.
Arcva smiles. With the teeth showing.
The one guy with his one paddle starts. He has to sit in the middle and do the two side paddle because the other one's in the water. And you slowly make it back to shore after a couple minutes.
Do I see the body exploding?
Oh,
Yep.
from where you are, you can't see Atakaz's body, but you do see this sudden blast of fire as a fireball goes off. And then-
That's enough to get her panicking.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Like, pushes past the priests to get back over there.
There's like a bit of like resistance as you gotta push between them, but then they also part for you after like a second.
I see, like, people are injured, and I'm just like, oh, what? And yeah, I'll just throw cure wounds down on Christine and Osiris because they've both been hit by it.
Those who look at the area of damage, nothing of Edekaz remains except his dagger, or I think it's a short sword,
I think that's what's up.
and an eye patch. But I'm double checking if there's a third.
Your eye patch is magical?
2 second levels.
All these alchemists knew that they're honestly.
And
the priests.
and his armor. There seems to be scaled armor that remains as well.
Scale?
Not scale as in like scaled from a lizard.
So not scale mail, but scale mail.
No. Yeah, it's like not metal scales.
Actually,
Scale.
technically both.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So,
Scale, man.
yeah.
Scale now.
I think that we need to go. I think that
This is disaster?
Yeah, at this point, unless Xavier, you outside of the building yet?
No. I've just seen this.
There is like a mix of shock on the faces of the priests, sadness and sorrow very much wearing openly, and several of them are glaring at you just with open disdain. As like the one who told you to leave has her hands on her hips and is just like standing like looking at you like, get the fuck out.
Xavier, please.
They need to understand the gravity of the situation.
I will explain that to them, please.
We're going now.
I don't think now's the time even for it. They don't seem to be wanting to listen.
She looks to the priest and looks at them like, to be like, what's happening? You want us to go?
We want them to go.
You can stay. You have training to do.
I thought it was a package deal.
No.
What?
When you say that, one of them looks at you, Christian's like, there is no package deal, miss. You all have desecrated this place. Get out.
I thought this
She
runs
can
with
stay.
desecration.
You are currently standing on sacred ground that you have no care for. I would
Oh,
like
God,
it if
no,
you
I have-
leave.
Gods no, I have no care for this entire
And then he
thing.
just turns away from you mid-sentence to Selena and is like, you darling, while I don't like what your friends have done, you have training to do. So, if it is up to us, you would stay.
No.
And that's the answer.
Can I just see them for a moment?
Of course, we cannot force you to stay, dear. But this offer will not be offered again. If you leave now, you will not receive training if you come back.
It was your fireballs that did harm some of our precious memorabilia of our god.
As the rug in the middle of the room behind you, Xavier, is half missing, and the little temple off the little shrine off the left side has a little wooden figurine that's just gone. Several tapestries in the wall that just burnt into ash.
She's sort of like,
I am not capable of casting fireball, nor do I think any of our
It's just
party
they were
is.
talking to Selena, who did that.
Yeah.
Oh, Selena did that?
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
This is why there's only one offer now.
Have
what point during this sort of conversation would it be towards the end? Arcfos are essentially walking up the boardwalk with these two in hand.
Yeah.
About now, the boat donks against
Yeah.
the shore. Docks can hop off the
So
side.
I didn't hear any of that. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
It's loud. They're not being quiet.
She sort of like slowly starts to head back down towards people, but she's sort of like she's sort of looking up at the sky a bit. What do you mean I have to walk away now? Right when they need me, when she needs me to get her back. I thought being a Devaja meant you fix the greater problems. The gates are the problem, the caretaker is the problem. You want me to walk away from that? I'm not ready. I can't do this. I need them. Don't take them away from me, please. I can't do it.
Selena?
Why are you doing this to me? I give you everything I have to give. My life, my future. I watch the people I love suffer to know me as I give you my blind faith, and for what? Cryptic guidance wearing the mask of my father who's dying because of me. Am I supposed to sit back and watch Christine do the same thing?
Hang on.
Don't make me do this. Please. I'm so scared. What? Father, Nathaniel, Christine, I can't do this.
Hey. And she just kind of, like, Christine kind of, for like, probably the first time in a long time, kind of actually reaches a hand out to, like, kind of, like, hold the shoulder, just to sort of,
She just
I-
drops onto the
yeah.
floor.
immediately she just kind of, like, is a bit stunned. She's unsure what to do, what to say after that. It's just, yeah, just nothing said from her initially, at least.
I don't know what I missed between you all, but these priests aren't getting off freely. They crossed a sanctity they shouldn't have crossed.
I think right now that's not the time. Like, well,
No, this is something more due to me.
I know, but that may
As
be able to
Arcfall
wait.
wishes to push past and pretty much shove these two into the priests if they don't move.
You do so. They push them into it. They stumble back. They are old, but
No, don't. Alfred, don't.
He doesn't care.
But
Please don't.
I agree with you. But at the moment, they need to be alive.
And I need to check if the others are still breathing. I didn't kill them all. I went non-lethally as I could.
The oldest of the priests, who's like this very old, like 90-something looking man, is like standing up, basically facing directly, almost face to face the ox, because he's like refusing to move with stubborn, elderly stubbornness. And he's like, "The others in here, we are already taking care of them, young man." He only comes up to like your chest because he has that old man shrinkage. It's we will handle their care and recuperation.
I have to stay.
Arcfall will... He will actually lower himself to the height of this elder man. Then you understand why I'm not so much angry at them as I am at you.
I don't know what bone you have to pick with us, son. We are just priests of an old, missing god.
And yet, you hid a drug operation under your nose.
I have the faintest idea what this drug you're talking about are. These men brought us food. They brought us supplies when everyone else around stopped. You think we can grow anything on this stone? As like waves one arm out.
No, I don't.
There's nothing here. And so those men asked for one thing in return. An urchin that we have no use of.
An urchin, which, when powderized and turned into a drug, makes people more susceptible to their demands.
I had no way of knowing.
You had
Really?
no way of knowing this, but you should have been vetting what had been brought in and brought out. The fact you did not, and you have access, I believe you do, because you are very powerful priests, to detection spells, and could not detect anything in crates lined with lead. Should have told you something was up.
He like the old lady whose hands on her hips turns. She goes, "You are an absolute fool. Lead
Savior.
crates lined with lead. Do you know the first thing of detection magic, boy? Lead
Yes.
blocks detection magic.
Which is why you should have opened the crates first, before just accepting things.
Yes.
Why?
These muscles that I have and these arms are so strong.
Well,
I
then
can't even
let them
lift.
open them for you. If they were being so generous, they could have at least shown you what they were bringing.
They did! Very common of them when they gave us food. Now please, leave.
Desperation makes people blind.
I don't know what world you're from, Sonny, but we survive off the generosity of those around us. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth when it's the only horse that brings you food.
Are you all done?
Are you,
Assistants?
are you off our island?
I wasn't talking to you, as Aqua was glancing back at Xavier more so.
I'm done.
Good. Now, I'm willing to leave this island, but not until I have a count that you're going to have enough people here to ensure you can keep surviving. I'm aware they will report what we've done,
To who?
whoever their leader is.
We only know him.
He's not the only one, I don't think.
Well,
I'm pretty sure you don't
can't
believe he's
tell.
the only one.
considering he's the only one we've met, I think we do.
At this point, Aqua will stand up after being down at the man's eye-to-eye height. I'm going to leave these two in your care. I'm also going to go quickly check that room to make sure I can remove any bodies that you can't lift. Once that is done, I'll be out of your way, and it'll be up to Selena the fate of this place. I don't know your tenets nor your creed. All I ask is a nod. If you understand, then I'll be done soon.
Take away their arcane focuses. Make sure they do not have access to the suitors in the back. In fact, take the drugs now. Dump it in the sea.
It's a waste of time, Xavier.
I can fix it.
They don't move at all with any orders. They let Jakova pass because apparently this is the only way he's gonna leave. But they don't do anything that anyone else recommends.
I'm going to collect bodies.
I
Starting
can fix it.
Yeah, you have to like physically push past these two old people who like bodily stand in your way.
That's not hard.
No.
No, not at all. You don't have to roll for it. Like you're a barbarian and they are two old people.
I'd argue
I'm-
Aqua's being reasonable.
I'm going to gently put my hand on one of the old folks.
They
which I
shove your
haven't
hand
put
off.
on them. Before I do, I'm going to play on hands for 5 points to.
They
deny it.
They deny it. They do not want you to touch them. As soon as you go towards them in any manner, they step back.
These are not considered willing creatures for your spells right now or abilities, Xavier.
Doesn't have to be willing.
But they don't care. They don't want it. They are physically getting away from you.
At this point, I just want to move up towards where Xavier is and, like, pull on his arm, like, you gotta stop me. This isn't gonna work. Nor is this any helpful. Anyone?
Letting them think with a clear mind rather than drugs?
I think
Sure.
it's more so they had no knowledge of it in the first place. And even
I
so,
get that.
now they don't have supplies, it's not like it's really going to be a continuous thing. Just leave it.
Selena just pulls herself to her feet at this point. I can fix this. I have everything I need to be able to fix this. It was almost like it was meant to be.
In what way?
I can give them food. I can cure them of their addiction. But you know what?
And
I'm not doing this for the prophecy anymore. Fuck the prophecy. Fuck all of this. I'm so sick of giving everything I have and getting nothing in return. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to learn from these people and I'm going to beat this. I'm going to... I just need to get strong enough and then I can... It doesn't have to happen the way. I can change it.
no, we don't have to do it here. There are other ways to figure stuff out like this.
They have so much knowledge. I have to do this. If I won't get another chance to do this. If I have to stay in this place and learn from these people,
But there are other ways around it. It doesn't have to be this.
this is handed to me. I don't want to go. I'm scared
It was
of being on my
shoved
own.
into you, though. You can
Much
deny
like a
it.
lot of things. I'm denying the prophecy. I'm denying dying. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to learn from this. I'm making decisions now.
Will she be able to cast Sending at least from here? Does that magic work?
I look to the
Or-
priests.
Yeah, like, they ignore Xavier, and when you look at Christine, because you've been pretty compliant, the woman's like, "What magic works here, dear?"
I don't really want to go. I don't want to leave you. It's... Especially with everything. I feel like I'm failing.
Selena,
But I will be back.
You can see Christine definitely has that sort of pained, inflicted look.
I keep
Um,
doing this to you, don't I?
No, that's
No.
not.
Let's be honest. Ever since we've met, I've just...
No. Don't.
I promise
Just-
I'll be back. And for the first time, I can actually truthfully say to you that I'm not going to go down that path anymore. I promise.
I want Christine to roll an insight check on that.
Go for
Considering
it.
everything that's happened, everything in general, she wants to believe it, but she needs to know properly whether or not it's a bit more solidified.
She's telling the truth.
And oh, you continue if you had something.
Say, Christine, you're a very suspicious person.
Yeah.
In nature, you don't trust people at face value. You've had a hard time believing things unless they're directly in front of you. And for the first time since this journey began, you can read every expression and emotion on Selena's face and know that she is completely open and truthful with you.
This is probably the first time she's actually, like, not had, like, some kind of mask on.
And you can probably see, like, there's that kind of almost breakdown of this kind of, like, tougher persona that Christine has on to, like, kind of protect herself from the world lights. Where she's worried, like, genuine, but there's, like, a bit of, like, a kind of, happiness that there's something there that she kind of always wanted to, like, hope that was still there from since the forest. But again, there's still that kind of conflict to it where it's like, it doesn't want you to go, obviously. Like, there's, especially now with this new insight, like, she really, really doesn't want you to go. thinking there's probably more that she could like get back, but she doesn't say anything. And she just she puts on a little bit of a kind of blank, but somewhat a little bit soft face, but cracks showing.
When I get back from this, and when everything is done, we can always do the dusk view thing. Or, if you want, we could just keep on adventuring like this. I don't really mind, as long as you're around.
At that point, I think I genuinely think at that point this would probably be where she should cut you mid-sentence on that and just hug you
As she returns the hug.
and just says, just stop, just please, just do what you need. If
I'm gonna read every single book in this place. Any shred of information I can get. Anything that could help me.
promise me you'll be back.
I promise. I don't think there's anything that can keep me away.
You're not just saying this to give me hope, are you?
I promise I will be back. If there was any other chance of me being able to do this another time, I would leave this instant.
She holds you a bit tighter. Then just sort of nods, like, well held up to you.
You've grown up so much. I know we're only a few years apart, it just... You almost seem like the older sister.
No, don't, that's not... It's not true. No, just... she
Please
sort of
look
lets
after
go.
them.
She lets go of that, unsure what to say.
Will you look after the group?
She nods.
Thank you.
And then just kind of waits, very much unsure, very hesitant. I almost like if when Selena turns around, that split second she reaches out again, almost just to pull her back to keep her away from everything of this. But she forces herself to stop, almost kind of grabbing her shoulder. And it's just.
I'll at least
sitting.
walk you guys to the docks. Well, I mean, we have to wait for Arthur anyway. I don't really know what Arthur's doing.
Rolling bodies,
Nice.
carrying bodies, making sure that some of them are actually breathing and some aren't.
Let's just sit on the docks for now and wait until he's there, and I don't have to go in right this minute.
So, Akfa, you go in there to help move the bodies, or to forcibly move the bodies. When you get in there, you notice that several of the ones you knocked down have bled out, because despite your best efforts for non-lethal, your punches are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some of them are still conscious, and they have been those who looked like they were bleeding, who could be... There are 7 other priests on this island, one of which is unconscious, so 6 here are currently tending to those who are wounded. Most are unconscious still. There are a handful of
There should be
tenses...
at least 2 dead bodies.
Yeah, there are 2 of the priests as well. One of them is covered in scratch marks as a black eye.
Nice.
And there's 3 tenses floating discs currently in different areas, which the dead are currently on top of, all except that massive black scale bruiser, who he seems to just be too heavy. So the
Yeah, I
monks
think I'm
haven't been
gonna
able
have to
to.
carry him.
Yeah, when you
So-
come in to move the bodies, the dead are already being piled for movement, except that one, because he's massive.
Yeah, I know the main priests aren't gonna speak to me exactly, but I'm just like, why do you want the big one?
None of them like talk to you. They physically turn their back to you when you speak to them.
Jesus. So sassy.
I'll just pick him up then.
When we're heading down towards the docks,
Hmm.
how's Tara doing right now?
Still not.
How is Toctopus going?
That would depend if she was capable of sneaking into Selena's backpack while everybody was busy talking.
So, unfortunately, none of your belongings are actually here with you all.
Ah,
No.
A majority of your belongings are on the ship or in the room you guys were staying in. At which point, one of the priests comes out, and you've noticed at the back of this room is a pile of bags, as they've just been bringing bags out one at a time and just dropping them on the ground.
Oh, that one's mine.
So, are you gonna roll a sleight of hand?
she would probably be stuck to Selena's back then currently. Almost as a, like, you can't see me, so you don't know I'm here.
I can feel
Even though you can
octopus.
feel, like, tentacles just sucked onto your back.
It's like, Tara, do you wanna turn back?
There's just no response, nothing happening, she just stays stuck to Selena's back.
Tara, I'd like to speak to you if that's okay.
She will crawl down off of Selena onto the floor and change back. She's kind of making a pouty face with her arms crossed.
Is Christine here at the same time? I'm assuming you're moving down to the docks with me.
She'd be delayed, but she wouldn't be far.
You know that I have to go, don't you? But I will be back, I promise. I know that you have fears of being left behind, but please believe me when I say that I really don't want to do this, but I have to. I promise I'll be back.
Can I just stay with you though?
I don't think that they'll let you.
Yeah,
They're very mad at us.
Anything to them though.
You
I
didn't do
was an
anything.
octopus the entire time.
The
I
only
did
reason
nothing.
that they're taking me is because I'm a Davaja.
I can help them though. I can make good berries. I can feed them.
I think that you would be very helpful, but I think that you would be even more helpful with the group. You're here to look after them. And they're going to look after you as well. Because that's
But
what
how
we're
can I look
basically...
after you if I'm not with you?
You could, make sure everyone's okay, so for when I get back.
But that's not taking care of you, in my opinion. That's taking care of them. I want to take care of you, and taking care of you requires me to be here, so I will stay. Great talk.
I'd very much like it if you could look after Christine for me. And I'd very much like it if Christine could look after you. Because you're both my sisters, basically. And you don't really get that many. I didn't even think I had a sister, and then I found out I had two.
That's pretty lucky.
That is very lucky.
But that's even more reason for me to not leave. I have to stay with my sister and protect my sister.
I'll be fine. Plus, I'm the older sister. Well, at least I think I am.
I don't know, how old are you?
21.
I am the oldest sister. You have to listen to me. I'm staying.
You fell into that.
I beat you by 2 years.
Just imagine awkwardly there's just this big hulking thing being carried into the main room.
Yeah. The old lady who looks angry at Judas any moment he's within line of sight, or Xavier. When you're doing that, Tara, she's like takes a step down there and she puts one arm like halfway to like touch on the back and then stops and goes, Gia, you're being... We're mad at your friends, but not at you. You're an octopus and a very well-behaved one.
Thank you, I try.
Unfortunately, due to the nature of your sister's studies, she's going to need full attention. And we have limited ability here. We are not able to house any more people. We would have to ask you to go with your other sister. And You could always stay in contact with her.
I promise I'll message you.
But I can take up a very small amount of room and completely feed myself. I can be very quiet, I promise.
The problem is, no matter what, you will be a distraction for her studies.
I'm going to have to do a lot of boring studies.
I can do boring studies.
I'm sorry, Tara.
How about this, darling? If you can prove to me that you can perform one incredibly boring task, then you can stay.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll do it. I'll pass with, what do they call it? Leaping colors.
I want you to go stand on that boat over there and stare at the mast for the next 2 days.
Okay, I can do that.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Tara is just running for the boat now.
Are those two alchemists still in this main room?
Yeah, the oldest two are still in here.
Good, I'm approaching them.
Yeah, the old man is like still hanging back a bit. The woman turns to Slane and goes, I am a little sorry about tricking your sister, but I have a feeling she'd be a bit stubborn on this regard.
She's going to be devastated.
I love Tara's -1 intelligence.
Okay.
What's your wisdom?
20.
Yeah.
I can't lie to her like this. Ugh. Christine, I know that you don't trust Tara, but she's good. She's very good.
That's... When she joined, it was bad timing.
It was very bad timing, I know.
And with the necklace glowing as it was, there was no way I could trust her after what happened with... I just couldn't.
I know. She's
I was worried it would happen again.
going to struggle a lot. This is going to be a massive blow for her. I'm just a little worried, you know?
She looks like, as you said that, she like turns her head towards Tara, like just sort of, I can imagine like just joyfully like running towards the boat. And
She's
just-
had a lot of losses of families, I find.
I've gathered that much. What she gave to me in Tempest Bay.
The bracelet of hair?
No, it was the letter. It made me think that she held things close to her because she, well, yeah, and she actually shared some of that with me after everything. She then just kind of sort of turns away from like anyone, like just looking, staring out into the ocean.
Selena just sort of sits down on the docks, like with her legs hanging over the edge, just sort of like waiting for the rest of the group to sort of do their thing. Waiting for Aqua.
Mm-hmm.
Is he out yet, or is he still
Waiting.
carrying?
I walked up to the alchemists.
Yeah, they're kind of standing sheepishly in the corner, the two that you got off the boat.
I'm not going to harm you. You know
I don't
exactly
fully
why
believe
I attacked.
He just nods like, yeah.
You guys attacked us first. I would have been happy to walk out of that room without bloodshed.
There's a
Now,
look that passes between them that is like, you can tell there's not 100% belief in that regard, but they don't say anything.
how much of a profit would you guys have expected to have made from that?
We don't actually make a lot of money from this.
Your
Mr. Ed,
others, not you specifically.
oh, I don't know how much they sell this stuff for. We just make it.
Then I'm going to do something that it's not going to bring your friends back to life, but it will allow you to recoup some resources and keep your deal going here.
Aqua pays out the wizards.
Now understand, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I understand you probably have your reasons. Whether it's family in danger or something else, but... And I pull out 4 platinum pieces, placing 2 each in both of their hands.
They just look at the coins and look at you really confused.
If it's asked about who has survived, who died, and I imagine that'll be sent back with a couple of you soon, feel free to offer this up. Maybe it'll make sure you two aren't killed by whoever's in charge.
Okay, we will do our best.
As for your big friend here, should I leave him in your care, or should I throw him into the ocean?
Hey, one of them looks over and goes, he is dead.
That's why I'm asking.
Well, he was a very, very dear friend. As he looks at like the platinum coins, I'm going to miss him sorely. I feel like we'll have to arrange a very special burial for him. You know, lizard folk rituals are quite expensive.
Just enjoy eating him.
Oh god.
They don't say anything.
That's what I know of lizard folk, okay? As I place him down, literally shoving him between the two of them, even if that's forcefully moving them apart.
Yeah.
No. We're gonna pretend this didn't happen for now, and if we cross paths again, hopefully it doesn't come to violence. Because you already know what I can do.
I hope
And
to
I
never see
didn't
you
even-
again.
I place a paw on both their shoulders and lean in. I was holding
Shrink
back,
a
by the
little.
way.
I don't think it would have mattered.
Akbar is going to take one last look at the guy, make sure he's not wearing anything of that needs to be handed to a family.
No, it's just like he's just wearing his scales and a big club and like a bit of clothing.
And we'll start walking to the exit, stopping to glance down at the older guy priest.
He glares at you, but doesn't say anything.
Deal's a deal. Don't harm Selena.
A student and a divider would never come to harm in our temple and care. Now get out of my temple.
Don't make me come back. As Akbar will walk out.
You leave,
Taurus.
and with your really high perception, Akva, you do briefly overhear those two alchemists as one of them leans to the other closely and half whispers, why is nobody coming for us? And the other one goes, I don't know, shut up.
Akbar is going to stop once he gets down to about Osiris. He's completely ignoring both Xavier and Selena in this case.
I don't
Still
think
want-
I'm actually up there. I'm down.
Yeah, I don't know where you are at this point. Sorry,
I haven't moved
myself.
myself. I haven't been using them.
Yeah.
Hey, Osiris.
Get up there.
Hey, wait, is Osiris conscious?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'll see you on the boat. I think we have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So what's everyone done?
Um,
Terra is
Derek at the mall.
Terra's start the mast. Akva's made his way to the boat.
Cyrus turns to Selena. Well, be safe, kiddo.
You too.
Don't get into too much trouble.
Never will. She just like hugs you.
He pats her head.
I'll see you
makes
when
his
I'm
way to
back.
the ship. I'll see you then. He's kind of limping
Yeah.
because, you know, existence is pain at the moment.
Wait,
Yep.
wait, big guy.
Mm.
I slap you on the back, heal 25.
Xavier,
Yes?
would it be okay if I just, maybe just have a little conversation with you before you depart?
I was planning on it.
Oh, good. And she turns to Christine.
She looks, waiting for what you've saying. Just like waiting for like the go away sort of thing.
You're very strong. You know that, don't you?
No.
You are very strong. You're like the strongest person I know. And every day you just get stronger. I'm very glad I met you. And I'm very glad that Court gave you that letter.
Make an insight check.
Jesus. Oh, me make an insight.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I use my favorite? I think I did, so I'll just go with 12.
I'd say with that, like, you can definitely tell as you're saying things, like, certain words make her almost flinch. Like, whether it be positive or negative, you're not exactly 100% sure. You can probably make more of a guess to one.
I know that you don't like to hear this sort of stuff. I know that it makes you feel uncomfortable, so I'm going to stop now. I promise I will be back.
Yeah. And she just, like, she tries to want to say something, but she just can't find the words for it. She just kind of stops.
I'll do my best to contact you as often as I can.
She nods.
If anything bad happens, you just let me know, okay?
She nods again.
Because I will leave this place as soon as I possibly can if you get into strife. They'd have to hold me here. They'd have to, I don't know, chain me to the floor.
I think at this point, just sort of hearing these, like, sort of, like, very comforting words, very, like, affirming that there is, like, that connection there between them. She just kind of starts breaking. But she nods again.
And she just pulls you in for a hug.
She, of course, reciprocates.
Christine,
Yeah.
would you say that you're a bit emotionally unstable right now?
This is like the
Fuck.
first.
In your face.
So to clarify, this is like the first time in like forever since she's had this proper feeling of like, family, like where she's like hearing words that confirm that there is that proper thing there, like when she's always been worried about like is she really still there, or is it like nothing else? And so yes, I'd say extremely so.
Then you know what to do.
Do I put it in the tower?
Oh,
ignore
if
it.
she goes angelic, I will fucking like freak out.
There you go, AJ. Have fun with that.
Oh, Jesus
I think
Christ.
AJ.
Please don't.
Roll a con saving throw.
Oh,
Me?
Christine.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? You do it too. It's pretty funny.
Oh,
Alright,
Oh.
Oh, what?
Do it too. It's pretty funny.
As this energy builds up and it exerts itself throughout the hug, Christine, you pass through it normally, and as you're about to like leave the embrace, Selena's body is frozen stiff in this position for about 6 seconds as she's stunned for a round.
I feel like immediately, like, she'd pull away, like, almost scaring herself that she did this, and is just, like, extremely, like, terrified that her own magic once again is, like, doing this.
When she comes out of it, she's just sort of like, oh, that was invigorating.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. It didn't hurt. It's just one of those things, isn't it? you have powerful wild magic, and I can grow wings. And apparently you can grow wings as well. So yeah, it's fine. It's memorable.
She kind of, like, turns away, like, on that, and just, like, unsure how to respond because you probably know that she herself doesn't know entirely how to see her powers.
It's honestly, it's fine. She's just like smiling like at the same time as well. Like she's fine with it. She's not like.
Mm.
It's almost kind of like here's a little reminder of your sister who has like crazy magic explosions sometimes.
Yeah. Whereas on the other hand, like she sees it as like a volatileness that could be dangerous.
We are
But
an
yeah,
interesting pair. Alright, well, I'm gonna have this quick discussion with Xavier. And just be safe.
I think
Please be safe.
I think if this with the conversation kind of coming to a close, she, with both hands, grabs on like to your arm. She's looking down, not really making proper eye contact, and you can kind of tell that she's like a bit shaking through it. And she says, "And you just promise, right? You,
I promise.
I know you've said, but it just every time I hold on to something, it just I, it just goes away, and she like starts shaking more intensively.
I know.
Please,
I promise.
she like
Just yeah. She gives you the musical pendant. I've never given this to anyone. Hold on to this for me.
She like grabs it with one of her hands and slowly starts releasing your arm with the other.
This
And
was a
then holds it
gift.
with both.
I can't remember who did. Arky? No, Arky didn't give this to me. Was it Court?
No, Aki gave it to you.
Okay.
Huh.
This was a gift from Arky. And I know he means so much to you as well, so I couldn't think of anyone else it should go to.
She kind of just stares at it, just
You know I go to this whenever I feel stressed, whenever I felt despair.
clutches it, holds it up closer to her chin.
Anytime you feel stressed or despair or just anything, it's just anytime. It's yours.
And you'll take it back, right?
Of course. When I'm back, we can share it. It can be ours.
Yeah.
This was always my one thing that I had. My one thing that I was allowed to have, my luxury.
And like yes, it's sort of you can sort of like see her kind of like almost looking like she's lost in thought, maybe trying to think of like if there was something for her. Like it's almost like she's thinking of like wanting to return the favor, but knowing she doesn't have anything particularly precious that she can give away in a way. So it's just kind of like the um slight awkward pause of just like her thinking of what to do.
I promise I'll be back.
Okay.
Remember what I said.
I will, but if you don't, I swear,
You can come back here and you can... Honestly, if I don't come back because of this place, you can come back here and blow the whole place up for all I care.
We prefer you didn't.
Sort of smiles, like looks back like... we are in the docks. If they're like all the way up there,
If that was the case where they did say that, I'd like slightly turn my head where I'm looking at her and the person, and I'd be like, I'd do more than just destroy this place. With like a confident look to it.
Well, it's a good thing that I'll be back then. Hopefully more powerful than ever.
While you're gone, I'll figure out what to do. I
know you can.
I may need to talk to some people that might know more about me. I might need to talk to Xavier.
We can both talk to him once we fix this mess. We'll fix the caretaker, I guess. Get him back and we can both have a lengthy discussion with our father. Maybe get some answers.
Answers that I will attain one way or another. Anything.
She nods.
And with that, I feel like after letting Xavier wait long enough, she will kind of get up and move away slowly at first, like looking back, and then just turning back one more time before going towards the boat and hopping on.
She sort of like got that look of that person who's like, keep it together, keep it together.
I don't think it's even a like role related thing. Like Christine is trying and failing, but that's really it, yeah. And then she just goes away, and I imagine like she just finds a place like below deck on the boat and just kind of hides herself a bit. I mean, it's like huddles into like a little like a ball and just puts her face into her legs and just tries to think about everything.
She like awkwardly turns to Xavier, wipes eyes. Sorry about the wait.
It's okay. Before you say anything, I'm not mad at them. I'm just disappointed. Now, there are a few things I need you to do for me. You need just to brush your teeth, wash your hair, clean behind your ears. It's very important that you do so. Make sure you learn as much as you possibly can.
I will learn everything.
And if there's ever there's anything that's an issue here, contact us. We'll be on our way with boots.
And if you have problems as well.
I do not have the capabilities of casting sending, but I have Osiris, so that's the next best thing.
Christine as well, I believe. Possibly.
Cool.
I think. Regardless, I'll be sending as often as I can. Okay. This is I had this whole idea in my head. To understand that paladins like yourself bestowed magic as a kind of gift from a higher power.
Yes.
And warlocks have their pacts, and wizards have their minds and their books, and there's many more. So much magic in our world, even though we've lost so much. As sorcerers, magic is like the blood in our veins, and we control it with our spell focus. Kind of like a heart.
That is correct.
Most of my memories of learning how to channel my magic through this focus, she's holding the focus in her hand at this point, how to restrain my power is to conserve my energy. I was unfortunately never given the same training for my heart. I learned from a young age that to care for me meant to hurt. They taught me all the lines I needed to recite to abdicate the throne, but not how to understand how it felt to stand in front of 20 noble persons and admit that you're the first divine blood that failed before you could even try. My spell focus is one of the most important things to me, and it succeeded where my heart has not. In saying this, I would like you to take it. I can use a replacement focus for the time being, and it will give me peace of mind knowing that my greatest treasure stays with the party, with you, and I know you'll protect it with your life just as you've done for me. When I return, you may return it to me if you wish, or you can keep it as a token. It need not be complicated. Just a reminder that I think of you highly, and you may leave it as that as you if you wish. And she just hands you the spell focus.
What is the spell focus?
It's her ring. It's just like a. I think it's like got like 3 gems on it.
The signet ring?
Yeah, it's
Something
her
like
it's a spellcasting ring basically.
Yeah.
How similar would this ring be towards the one that he already has?
I don't know. Is yours just a wedding band though?
Yeah, mine's a wedding band.
Hers is like
Oh, no.
And
it's quite a bit different.
I think I posted a picture at one point, but it doesn't matter. It's just I'll send it to you later if you like, if you're interested.
I'll gently take the ring, confused. No, Selena, I believe that you giving a ring to someone is some sort of custom in your country. As I begin chuckling and laughing.
Yes, I believe it is.
I'll keep it safe.
Thank you.
In return, I give you a potion of healing.
I don't believe it's customary for gifts in return, but
A
I already
drink
have-
of farewells.
thank you. She takes the potion of healing.
Now,
I've made
if
this
you
awkward,
will-
haven't I?
no, you haven't. Is the monks aren't still there, right? Like,
Oh, the
Then-
two of them are still standing there, watching you. Specifically, you with disapproval.
I feel like because she's doing this on the dock, so they like way up the gate.
Yeah, they can't. Like, they're not close to you, but you can.
Good,
they're
because
both
that'd be
watching.
awkward.
alright, I'm going to pull out my holy symbol, which is an amulet of Tabris. I hold it out. May the guidance of Tabris help you find the truth. I gently place it on your forehead. Take it back. Brush your hair back. Give you a gentle kiss on there. You'll be safe, my child. And I walk on the boat.
She's just like beat red at this point, but like kind of like seeing everyone off, sort of smiling.
Hey, Tera. Wanna do something fun?
Tara is ignoring everyone and everything, just staring intently at the mast.
Oh my god, this is hurting. This is hurting me.
As
Have a goodbye.
You leaving that with me?
as everyone slowly, periodically makes their way up the stairs, up towards the boat, I'm going to ask: is anyone picking up his stuff?
Yes.
Yes, sorry, I would have, seeing as I would have been next to it after being killed.
Okay.
My
Just,
apologies.
just making sure before we
I-
abandon
I
that.
thought it was inferred.
No,
I
I'm
assumed
with
it-
the others, I don't want him.
I assumed it was, but I'm double checking.
No, I wouldn't have.
I takes my stuff where I go.
As you all eventually board the dock and onto the boat, it all starts creeping away as not even the captain, sensing the tension, doesn't even really ask for a destination. They're just
Actually, I do have
gonna
a destination.
go.
Captain was there.
Oh yeah, wait, what are you saying?
Captain, you think you can take us around the island?
I am not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of what just went on here. So, no offense, but
It's your call.
I would personally prefer it if we concluded our business sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
We will not abandon you on some strange island. We will take you to another port where we will get proper repairs, and then we will part ways. You can find some captain who's willing to do all of this. He's like just looks at like the temple, looks back at you like, I am not that captain. I have a family who's already lost enough.
I understand.
We all appreciate the sacrifice that you put through getting us here.
We are sorry for putting you through this as well. So,
It's okay. I understand you all have a bone to pick with the cartel, but, this one probably wasn't 100% your fault. So
They
I'm not
attacked
going
us
to just
first.
leave without you all.
okay.
But this is where,
we
once
happened
we
to
arrive,
discover something which I won't go into detail, and they just attacked us. I'm not trying to justify it, I'm just simply giving you the story as you are our captain.
I appreciate.
I would also say probably giving that ship over there, the big one, a wide berth. That is.
There's no ship there.
The big boat's gone.
Yeah, it's just gone.
Big boy, yeah, it's gone. Yeah, I thought it was
They want to sail
I
through.
mislabeled where it was.
Did we have our sails out?
The ship's still parked. Like they've been getting things ready slowly, but like the sails are still furled. The mooring hasn't even been undone. They're just like tying ropes. They've been waiting for you.
Okay.
You better travel fast and safe then.
Yeah.
As
I don't know that you've helped us.
Captain, if you need help above, well, out here, just call out. I will follow the orders. But for now, I'm just gonna be undercover.
Okay, you all get some rest. I'm sure that me and my children, I can take care of it for now.
as they start to back off from the dock at this point, as maybe after another 5 minutes, everyone's prepared. As the boat starts to lurch and move, say Tara, your concentration is broken by the movement. As you notice,
So continue to watch this fish again.
Oh, this hurts me.
as the boat slowly peters out from the Temple of Priestess here in the Cartesian Concordant, as it starts to turn and make its way eastwards. That's where we'll go on our break.
Oh, freaking hell.
My
Good
ears,
timing.
That was really loud.
That was
That
pretty
was
loud.
That's why people muted it.
What was?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I most certainly heard something.
I muted the soundboard.
Did you like
We'll be right
Oh,
back.
yeah, okay.
Did you like
What?
getting
Say it
rid of
now.
Selena puzzle?
Do you like my Selena leaping puzzle?
Yeah, it's
Bring
great.
me to cry on stream?
You haven't done
realize
that
how-
yet.
I just want you to realize how fucked that temple is if we ever find out that they hurt you.
Mate, I will take Fireball and burn the place to the ground. I refuse to take those spells, but I will.
I hereby nominate Terra as head of the party while you're gone.
What if I have Cyrus?
You guys better look after my younger sister. Because
Which one?
Tara may be the older sister, but she is the younger sister. I don't care.
Is the
what
pendant an
anyone
item that you
says.
have in your inventory, by the way, or did I just make one up?
But of course we're gonna look after Elu. She'll be fine.
What?
Oh, the pendant. No, that is in my inventory. I
Put
can
in the party
probably
sheet.
send that.
Pass it along?
through. Yeah, hang on a sec. I just released my character, so.
It's all good, just chuck it in the parcels. Pass the parcels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see if there's more gold for it.
There you go. You got one healing potion out of that transaction.
And an awkward encounter.
Yeah, that's exactly why I
She's been
didn't.
putting off for so long.
That's exactly the awkwardness that I wanted to avoid, like just giving something random. It's like I could give her like something of equal value, which would have been like my mother's necklace, but it's like I need that for her.
Yeah, no. It's
like as much as I'd really want to, I can't really just give the pendant because no, I'm keeping that pendant. That lets me know where she is.
Those are right.
I was thinking of giving the ring to her, but it doesn't matter because we have the same ring anyway.
Why would we give her anything that we could use and benefit us? She doesn't exist anymore.
It's called roleplay.
Wow, she still exists.
She exists in my heart.
And so
Sorry.
Selena is now dead. No.
No.
We have killed her.
Cutscene ended. Character
Oh,
model
my beautiful
unrendered.
angel girl.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah. You leave
We
the
don't
island.
have object permanents.
The camera follows the party for a bit and swoops back towards the island. Selena's walk at the docks. Boom, all the priests are lichers. They all finger of death her. Session over.
Don't you dare. Don't
A
you
bullet
dare.
goes through her skull.
You already
The
gave
one
her a
gun.
I
ring
think
for
those
the,
deaths would be enough.
no,
Are they
give her-
resing the zombie?
Just do
Yes.
3. Well, I guess next long rest I'm swapping out Warding Bond for the first time.
I've waited like 6 weeks. No, I've waited like 8 weeks
Look
for
at that.
that shit. Like, I was like ready for that fucking like absolute
More than that,
shitstorm of
honestly.
an emotion that I
Yeah,
just
fine. At this
did to
rate, we're probably
myself.
losing two of you in one fucking place.
I was like, oh, this could go really well, or it might not set up.
I
properly, and
had
I'm
my
really
brain
glad it
set
went
up for
well.
the worst place scenario, like worst case scenario, and everything that was said was the exact opposite of what my brain may have thought would have
We
happened.
thought that she was just gonna cry about the prophecy.
Yeah,
not
I
the
thought
fact
it,
that she's like sad because
well,
she hurts
just-
everyone around.
it's just more because like how more recently it's been like driven to like do this stuff like just to do it, and if it like stayed like that at this like last turning point, I would have been pissed.
Rightly
I would've-
so.
I would have thrown. Oh, so you're just gonna, you know what? Make a deal with the matron to then take my mother away and then just leave me? Fuck you!
Yeah.
It's like that was in my mind. Like that's a possibility.
I mean, that's fair if that had been how it had went. But
Yeah.
like, I was thinking about it for a while, and I was like, this is probably the breaking point where she's just like, she's not getting anything from these, like, from the celestial. She's not like the only thing she's getting is like, go and do this, like, go and do this trial, and like,
Well,
get
go and do
close to
it.
dying.
I hate
Like,
to
we're
be
not
like
gonna
this
tell
as
you
well,
what-
but Arkva literally told you so.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone.
You choose
told
your
us so.
fate.
She's just when she's it's funny because it's like the whole
Oh.
party is like choose your fate, but for her entire life they've been telling her no, this is the
Mhm.
path, this is the true path. Like just go and do this, like you have to go and do this. And don't listen to anyone who says otherwise. Even Court like never really actually said to her that she shouldn't do it. Like he was kind of the one who was like secretly like rooting for her to survive, but
I mean, from that letter alone, it was obvious he wanted the opposite.
He wanted her to
He
live.
couldn't do anything.
but he's like in the end he's Xavier's friend, so like
So he decided to just put that onto me. Thanks. Thanks.
yeah,
Uncle.
it's good. Thanks, Uncle Court. Thanks for taking me on a trip to go die. But yeah, I don't know.
Thanks,
I've been
thanks for
mulling
passing
that
trauma
like
onto the other one. Thanks.
I've been mulling that sort of like that switch over. Like it's just it had to have something big happen. And I was like, well, there's a point where these trials take up so much of our time, but I feel like there should be a point where she does go on one and goes away for a bit, so it's not like the forefront of what we're doing as a party. And this was the perfect chance to do it. So yeah.
You just want to leave. Get out while you can.
Yeah.
Alright, Vitez, we'll see you in several months.
Alright,
That's cool. I've been.
I'll let you know what
murmuring for
happens.
echoes.
we still got Izakai.
It's fine.
Oh,
I'll just
okay.
listen.
Okay, wait, how long did it take for me to be introduced again.
Hang
It
on, what
depends.
was
Did you
that?
have a backup character in mind at the time?
No, when Merician died and fucking that then between then and Judas. Alan
Yeah,
was
but that came out of nowhere. This is a bit more planned.
I didn't come out of nowhere. It's just the guys took forever to get Town Roots.
Yeah.
You just had to have a big ol' wander in the forest. But yeah.
So his break's over.
How did you guys like the person you wanted to interrogate explodes puzzle?
Oh, that was actually pretty cool. I mean, frankly, probably suits their MO. They don't want people to be questioned.
Yeah, my target was the alchemist.
Well,
You have an idea how much self-control it took to not do something?
A lot, Matt. I know. You had plans.
I'm feeling very sorry
I
for
would
Osiris at
have
this point.
tortured that man for you, so you didn't have to.
And it was just casually overlooked by the fact that he exploded. Yep, no, it's fine.
Yeah. No, what's the point in questioning it?
I mean, there was kind of a lot going on. Arthur had no clue what you were doing, Osiris, so he just
All I
mentioned the
know
smoke.
My first thing was
It's
to
on the
quickly get
iPad,
Osiris
it's on
back
the iPad,
up.
you probably can use it.
I don't even know what the iPad fucking does.
It's an eye patch.
Yeah, well,
If an
I
eye
was
patch
gonna
and I
say
have
before
one
we
eye.
went on break that I'm gonna need the Pearl of Power back in order to do the thing.
Who has the bell about?
Okay.
We need to get you a fucking 100 GP
Yeah.
pearl.
Well, you had to, and then you got rid of one, and then you
Yeah,
gave the other
yeah,
one
but-
away.
That one- Was there
Fuck, maybe
was there clams in the ocean? Could you have gotten a pearl from a clam?
Clams don't have
You know what the
value.
odds of that is?
Especially 100 GP.
You'd need to find a very old, well, not old, but very progressed clam.
If you would go searching for Christine and like ask for the pearl, she'd like put her backpack, like she'd take it off and just like put it in front of you, but she wouldn't move from her position where she was, like as we start moving.
Well enough, what I'll be doing is right after breaking balls,
Well,
Christine.
I had a scene plan.
Oh, you want to do that? Then we'll do that.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, we haven't seen. Otherwise, like,
Is it
I'll
also
just be like,
involve
you can
Christine?
take it.
Does it involve Selena? Because if it's involved Selena, it's just a bit too late.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
Can I rewind time a bit?
No, it's
I
too
used
late.
up all my casts, and I don't think I have sending set up at the moment. So.
Oh, awkward. Ooh,
But tomorrow
okay.
she's gonna have. it
'Cause
set
I
up
do.
for email. Oh, cool.
What? Right? Yeah. I always do. I never do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Thank goodness Clara's can learn sending.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason why she has it.
Literally, yeah. That's why I have it sometimes.
I believe martial classes can also learn sending, it's just via pigeon.
And other
Like
items.
Marshall.
That's called Find Familiar. Did
Yeah,
anyone do that?
third casters can learn it. It's just that they have to learn the specific
Didn't
level.
say
Yeah.
that, I said martial.
Third classes have to learn it at 17th level or some shit when they nearly the end of their class.
At that point, you're better off just
Oh, no,
sending. pigeon, I
sending.
think.
Sending's third, they go up to 5th, I think.
Third level, yeah. They usually got the third.
No, that third casters they get a.
Oh no, they're fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause, Paladins get up to 5th level,
Yeah.
and then
Fourth, it's a-
Artificers and not Artificers, Tricksters and Echo Knights are 4th level.
So we're good. We're on break. So yeah, just new stuff that's not D&D for a bit. Zelda came out. I'm happy. I played it for like 3 hours.
Good 3 hours.
I've just been exploring. That game is so fun, especially the starting area. I love it a lot. It's
improvement of Breath of the Wild. That's good enough. by
it's a
any
good
standards.
time. Breath of the Wild was also fantastic. I saw the Koroks. I'm like, please don't be 900. I just don't need 9.
It was just it was heavily overrated to me, but
Just don't have
good
900.
game, just overrated, overhyped.
I'm a Ocarina of Time fangirl. Just that was my childhood. So
But this is like 3D Ocarina of Time.
I saw a lot of people like. I feel like people like were really against the weapon decay, and I'm like, no, that's part of the gameplay.
I won't lie, I don't like the weapons decay very
It's the
much.
best
That's
part.
I think it's like everyone's got their own sort of like things that they like. I just really like having a weapon that I find that I keep forever. It's just.
But we don't have weapon decay homebrew rule on.
Yeah,
Well, we
I'm
should.
a stickler for liking to get shiny thing and keeping the shiny thing.
Yeah, I think most
I
people in this
feel that.
party would be screwed without. Well, no. Most people in this party have magic, but
That's what your house is for.
focuses decayed.
That would be difficult. Maybe spell focuses or like books or I don't know, like
My body is the focus.
My fists are gonna decay. Help.
oh no.
I also been doing a lot of everything version 1.3. There's a lot of elves. Too many elves.
I can't wait to play all the elves in the future.
It's fine. I need a lot of elves.
There's too many elves.
There's a lot of elves and a lot of tieflings.
Oh wait, never mind.
Oh no, tieflings do not have that many compared to elves.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Even
the list I
Crystal?
have.
Not including Crystal, that's homebrew. I'm talking D&D, Wizards of the Coast for least amount of elves.
How many elves do they have?
Yeah.
1, 2,
What
3,
has 87
4,
HP?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah, he does.
4,
Yeah.
5,
He's not buried.
6,
What do you
7, 8,
expect?
9,
Bunga
10,
bunga.
11,
Bunga
12,
bunga.
13,
This
14,
used to be in a cushion, okay?
15,
Fun fact, I have almost 50.
16, 17, 18,
Jesus Christ,
19,
really?
20. There's
48.
20. There's 20 elf subclass, including UAs and plane shifts.
No, I like it.
I have 56 max. Think that.
Where's
Now
the gay
thing's
pride
dead.
elf?
I have
Christine's-
51.
Jesus Christ, everyone is so strong.
Yeah.
I got 35.
Selena,
Fun fact, Tez, when you have a con of
Yeah,
plus
when-
3
when you have
at
more
level
than-
6, that's like 18 extra hit points.
When you have a cut of
Jeremy.
plus 2,
I have plus 5, so
yeah, he's max chunk.
who's,
Did you say you were 51, Mim?
Yeah, I'm 51.
who has
That's
not done
shocking
the
considering
tick?
I'm on D6s. I have.
I'm missing 2
I
ticks.
think-
I'm missing 1 tick. I'm missing no ticks. I burped for a sec.
Yeah,
I
I'm on
pause.
D6s, and I rolled pretty well in
I
two.
realize I'm not ready because I didn't get the water I wanted to get. I'll be back in a sec.
At one point, so.
I was not ready. I didn't know I was to get the water I wanted to get. Jesus.
God damn it.
be quick, guys. Go.
Run.
Oh god, what do I do now?
I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm
that's
glad
good.
I
you're
don't
ready,
have a
Darren.
drink, but I don't care anymore.
Tez, are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready
Yeah,
to like
you know,
sit
like
there
it's all
and
gonna
just
happen.
listen?
I'm just gonna listen to the story.
Yeah, you're there. You're basically the live audience.
Is this
now.
where the gatekeepers fall apart?
No, this is where we fall apart. We lost our healer.
No, we can survive without a healer. That's not the
It's okay.
problem.
You
here.
guys have a Cyrus, and you have like you can cast stuff as well, Christine. It's fine.
I gotta step up and actually take healing spells on there.
Xavier can heal as well. Like you guys got heaps of heals, and Terra can heal as well. Like
Not enough.
everyone
med-
can heal
just give me
except
a med
for
kit, I can heal.
Not enough.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Never
Arthur can
enough.
heal.
I have cure wounds and healing wounds.
Look, Arkva
Never
knows CPR.
I'm back.
Plus, I also have Aura of Vitality.
You know what? I think that if Arthur got like healing
I was actually
gauntlets
thinking
and he
of
punched
double
people
aura.
and healed them, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna allow me to go that route. I'm not a magic caster.
Damn it!
We've discussed
hate
stuff,
that.
but I don't think that was on the list.
AGL sub. Oh, I will 100% like donate. I will donate like $20 if you let Arthur have healing fists.
Only for that one thing though. Like the
Have
one-
what? What?
Maybe that could be the divine upgrade. Whereas I've still got to figure out the
That's
necrotic.
that's the multi-class into paladin where he just
I'm not
punches
yelling
people.
paladin.
He refused.
That's okay. That's the multi-class equivalent where
See,
Wise Kitten goes into
Xavier, Xavier.
Way of Mercy.
Your mistake is you got to remember Arkva is a paladin.
Oh yeah, no.
He just refuses.
Okay,
Fuck
but
God.
alright, but hear me out. You go into Way of Mercy monk.
Listen, depending on your beliefs, literally fuck God.
I mean, have you seen him?
Which one?
Oh boy.
Yeah, fuck God actually.
I like how Selena's reasoning for leaving is the exact same reason of Savio's fucking reasoning for questioning everything.
Anyway, we're back. You both got your drinks.
Yeah. I'm just waiting. Well, I did not have.
So one more important point. With the inspiration symbol over Xavier's face, all I can think of is Sans. Because the one glowy eye with the strings.
I don't know why
Every time I
it's.
look at it, my brain goes doo-doo-doo-doo.
I don't know why it's showing for only him. Because it only shows on my end who's got it if it's not on your account, and I don't have. I'm not like looked onto his character or anything. So it's weird.
Wait.
It's an awesome. It's an awesome picture.
Oh, okay, it was just a delay.
A day delay.
You're a delay.
Alright,
Oh.
okay, so. Yeah, we'll jump back in. As the boat starts to pull out of the area, it's probably around mid-morning at this point. It starts heading north a bit, and then it begins its trek eastward.
Aqua's gone below deck to try and figure out where Miss Emotional's gone.
Hit me.
Not going to approach you directly, just going to find you first, and then sort of lean against a wall, not looking at you directly.
She's not hard to find.
It's not a big ship.
Yeah, and she's like a little bit in the corner.
You would hear Ankva's steps, not exactly going to be quiet.
She doesn't really like look up or move. She's just kind of like just got her like head just buried into herself, just kind of bundled up, sitting on the floor.
How much sort of room is around where? Like, I assume you've tried to find a corner, is what you
She
said.
definitely tried to find a corner, but like there's probably room to like sit beside like along whatever wall or object she's like put herself between.
Yeah, then after a moment of just sort of umming and ahhing, and in his mind, he'll be like, just sort of a and then
Yeah.
just sort of plop down beside you and put that arm around you. No words. You don't need words.
No, and she
You get fur in your
Doesn't-
face.
she doesn't say anything. Like it's that sort of thing. Once, like it's like that kind of thing. Like once you put like the arm around her, there's like a slight flinch, as like just general touch, and then she just kind of leans into it a bit more.
And with his other hand, he'll pull out a book and just sort of focus on that so as to not draw too much attention to either here. Yeah, that was all I wanted to do.
And yeah, just like I imagine, like after like a few minutes of that, she just like slowly just unbundles over time and just sort of leans more into it. I imagine before just becoming a bit tired, exhausted, and just resting for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
While you're just there.
What's everyone else doing?
Osiris comes down and goes, "Oh, is this a bad time?"
I imagine at this point, like Christine's like half asleep, like just laying in his arm.
Aqua sort of signals for the as long to try and signal not to be too loud.
I'll come back later. Leaves.
Well,
Don't
Mr.
wanna
Bells
barge
is
in?
doing anything.
Magically later.
As you go back up top, Osiris, you see Longtail there, who's like, they've gotten the ship moving now, it's sailing out, and he looks and he goes, I believe you wanted to go back to your family's island, yes?
No, that's fine. You wanted to take us to a port.
I was going to say it's a bit of a detour, but we are heading back towards an island where you will definitely find another ship. In fact, it's where the most ships are.
And the name of such place?
Darren has forgotten. He's trying to load his notes.
It's the port of
Ikaya.
Port.
Ikaya. Is
Does that ring bell?
yeah, it's like
Yep.
it's the big central island of the Cartesian Quarter. It's like built up. There's a lot of boats and shit there. It's where a majority of the chromatic dragonborns make their home.
Is that the one where we have to get a permit for everything?
No,
No.
This
Okay.
one.
that was Vosklezu.
Which I still have the documents for, just in case we go back.
Yeah, where you just put a square on the map. That's Ikaya in the middle there. Like, Ikaya, you will very much be able to find a mini captain there.
Look, well,
And yeah, the ship is going along for a bit. After an hour or two, you've lost sight of the previous island. The spiring stone has disappeared behind other islands that you've passed around. And the day continues on for a little bit.
I imagine after a couple hours, Christine would probably wake up, whether it be the motion of travel or whatever. She just eventually comes to, realizes like that she's basically just like thrown herself like onto Akbar. Gets up quickly, slightly bit embarrassed. It just turns and thanks him for the comfort.
It was a good book.
I'm glad it was.
You don't need to say anything. I think Osiris wanted to talk to us. Or to you. I don't know.
I'll go find him then. And yeah, I'll get up. I'll seek out Osiris.
Probably
he
pull
goes
that
extra
strand out of your hair.
sitting. Well, not sitting because he's a turtle.
Yeah,
He's standing
in this existing spot. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's like sort of seek you out. Imagine you probably like catch like her movement before she gets to you. Did, you came down earlier. Did you need something from us or?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a quick chat.
Yeah. What 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 do you need?
You know, my door's always open, right? Figuratively speaking. Literally, we lock the door when the tower's up, but that's beside the point.
She does a soft smile at that.
Even if it's just to listen.
She pauses. Yeah. I might I think I might need that at some point.
Well,
Thank you.
whenever you're ready.
Just nods.
As for the main reason, I need to borrow the pearl for like half an hour.
That's all right. I mean, it was originally yours. She like kind of scrambles, take the backpack off. She usually just keeps all the stuff with her, even if she's on a boat. Pulls out the pearl. Here you go. Just keep it for as long as you need, if you need it for stuff.
That's all right, I'm just gonna check a couple things, and it's your pearl. You have all the more reason to need an extra slot to contact someone.
You sort of, almost like a kind of slight catch off guard. She just sort of doesn't know what to say exactly, and then just after a brief moment, just again with that sort of smile, nods, and says, "Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right." And yeah, after giving it to you, she'll kind of wander around the ship for a bit.
There's not a lot of
And-
places to wander.
And I mean, like, just like moving about, just looking
Yeah.
over, just looking out. I think, like, similar to what she kind of did, like, on the way to places, she'll kind of, like, be a little bit more on that, just near the edge, looking outwards,
Okay.
looking forwards instead of backwards.
Cyrus, you're doing the thing.
Let's do the thing.
As you go through the thing, you
thing?
find out the eye patch with your with your spell identifier is a
Some patch
Knave's
perception.
eye patch, which I'll reveal to you now.
Please tell me it makes it like better at seeing things.
A Knave's eye patch, while you gain the benefits, you have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. If you have the sunlight sensitivity trait, you are unaffected, but we don't really run with that. And you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts or determine whether you are lying. Creatures can communicate telepathically only if you allow it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect for the pirate man.
He also has the armor is Sea Serpent Scale, which is it's made from dreaded sea serpents that live under the KC. This armor provides a +1 bonus to AC while swimming under the wearer can move at your normal speed. So, scale mail, but lets you swim, +1 armor. And the Viper's Bite is a short sword. It's silver in coloration and designed as if the grip and the guard are a snake that's biting down onto the blade. This +1 weapon stores 3 doses of poison, which during an attack can be activated to release a dose alongside the blade effect of the attack. Due to the small capacity, the doses only last 2 successful attacks. One dose of poison is generated after a long rest, though you can fill the cartridges whatever you want by placing a file into one of the fangs. Currently, it is out of the Carrion Crawler Mucus, but it does have a charge of normal poison and a charge of.
You're not proficient in poisonous kits, are you, Osiris?
I'm half proficient in everything that exists ever.
All right, then just make a standard intelligence check with proficiency.
It's half precious.
A standard poison.
Actually, do you have proficiency in medicine?
Half proficiency.
Okay, so this
it's
would
a
be the same.
+4.
Alright, well, a 12 still isn't enough. You know there's a second dose of a different kind of poison, aside from just standard, like, poison. But you're not sure what the second dose is of.
Would I know what that second dose is of? Because I did do detect poison on that.
You did not detect poison on the blade. No, you did not.
Because I detected poison on him.
You detected poison... At the time, there were 3 different things. You didn't see it. If you want to cast detect poison right now, you would know, yeah. You would know the effect, not the name, but yeah.
Do I identify the poison then, seeing as it's so mysterious?
It is not a magical poison. It's just poison.
It's also invisible to the thing. You can just tell that there's 3 cartridges and one's 2 are filled, and he's got one's got like a green tint and the other's got this like sort of very pale liquid color.
I'll detect poison if you come up to me about that. Because it also identifies the kind of poisonous creature. Or
okay.
Yeah, so...
I will do the rounds.
Yeah.
I need to remember. I will go to... I think Xavier is the only person that benefits from the armor.
Yeah.
I can only... I think I'm the only one who's capable of using
Scale mail's medium, isn't it?
Scale mail is medium.
I can technically wear it, but I don't think that's
So can
common
I
knowledge.
technically, but
Yeah.
it'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's common knowledge that I can
Let's-
wear it, but I
Yeah.
can technically wear it.
I didn't know you could wear it because you decided to pick up a subclass one day and immediately was able to wear slightly heavier armor.
I know, I was trained at a very... The academy kind of does a little bit of that, I think. Like, it's part of the it's part of the teaching.
It was an
or something.
elective.
Yeah, like, it's not an
The
elective, it was something
wizard
that...
school.
It's like the self-defense course, you know, I got pushed to do it, Aki told me, you know, it's just... Yeah, that, yeah.
Wizard School, he says, disapprovingly, despite playing a martial character in the Wizard School.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
see? It was self-defense course.
Cyrus
I
doesn't
could-
know that.
True.
I can use it to my own detriment. I'd have less AC.
Yeah, but what? How does it work out? What are the numbers?
14 minus 1 plus 1.
Yeah,
So 14.
Yep.
it'd be 14 plus 2 with the shield. So it'd be 16 AC compared to my 19.
But you could swim.
I could swim, but I'd be hit more.
Technically, like, it could be common knowledge that, like, sorcerers themselves don't.
I would then address the rest of the party about the items we have, minus the knaves patch. Nobody knows that's a thing.
What's that cool eye patch wearing?
You know, I'm just gonna say Aqua hasn't come up, so he doesn't get a vote. He's reading.
No, you do get a vote because I said so.
Get the fuck up here.
I have telepathy.
Grandfather
And
Osiris.
I will burn all
demands.
spells because I know where everyone is.
The Kerrigan Isles is really starting to sort of show.
Really,
Joyous over here.
if anything, I would like to use that probably to barter for the shield I want, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Oh no, it's only light armor, not medium. Never mind. Not me.
Nah, Scale Mail's medium.
Yeah, no. I
Yeah,
got
so
my medium light.
Warlocks doesn't. Only Hexblade does.
Yeah.
Hexblade.
Yeah. I'm confusing myself with something else.
That's why I was concerned. I'm like, am I wrong?
Did you? I thought
mean-
I was wrong and right at the same time.
I don't fully know about Terra stuff. Can Terra wear medium armor?
Yes. So
Really?
as long as it's not meta metal.
You can do what you want with that.
Technically, it isn't metal.
That is a
Yeah.
stupid fucking druid rule.
It is
Hell
not-
yeah, it is.
It's not a stupid road. Well, it makes sense.
Also, to point out,
She can literally make half plate out of stone.
it is not made of metal, it is made of serpent scale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so-
you could if you wished to.
So yes, Terra technically could, but Terra is also staring at a mast. So,
Oh, yeah, no one,
Alright,
no
now
one
you...
interrupted her.
Okay, here.
Just
To
the-
get Terra's attention, this is so dumb.
Mhm.
I will burn a third level... We've rested, yeah, so I've got... tick these
You
down.
could have. You could have. No, you're casting a spell during an hour.
I'd say this is still
Yeah.
the same deck.
You could have short rested at some point. Yeah.
No, that's fine. I have one third level spell slot left, which is exactly what I need. So I will burn a third level spell slot to cast... This is so dumb. Major image on myself of a really shitty foam sail, like, outfit. Like I work for a sales shop and I'm trying to get more customers.
Amazing.
And I, like,
What?
move in front of Terra and be like, hey Terra, we've got this armor, would you be interested in wearing it?
she tactically rolls to the other side of the mast and keeps staring at it.
But he's also a master.
By by foam sail, do you mean like a mast with like a sail on either side?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're basically the equivalent of a. If there was a mascot costume for a ship's mast,
Yes.
that's essentially what you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Terra, a mascot costume wearing Osiris, who looks like he's a ship's mast, walks in between you and the mast and says this.
That counts.
He was not the mast she was told to look at. He tactically rolls to the side and keeps staring at the mast. And kind of like puts a hand up to him like quiet.
Didn't she already fail though?
Acrobatics check. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, I could try. I'm gonna. It's just
You can do it if you want. I'm joking.
Rolls in that one, falls off the ship.
Oh right, I'm disadvantaged because I'm exhausted still because I didn't sleep the last
Oh
night.
yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't.
You're
Oh,
looking at the style.
So she goes to roll, but she just slops on her back, which is still set, laser staring at the mast.
On the back.
You're exhausted. You lie on the floor. The floor is comfortable. You could have a nap here if you really wanted to. It's
No,
tempting.
must look at mast. Must look at mast.
Osiris crosses his arms and drops the illusion. Never understand that child. Well, we have some armor that no one can really use. We also have this weapon. I don't know if anyone's interested in wielding a poisonous short sword, which also has something in it that I don't know about, but
And
poison's not my
use
department.
I can detect the poison if you need me to.
Hey, welcome to.
Yeah,
I'll detect the
come on.
poison.
You detect the poison. It contains a pale tincture,
Pale tincture.
which is a DC. Sorry, skill DC 16 saving throw. Otherwise, if they fail, they take 1d6 poison damage. The creature must make the save every 24 hours. The poison damage cannot be healed in any way until the poison passes. After 7 successful saves, the poison phase.
Oh.
Very
Poison.
nasty poison. It harms the body over time until it develops a resistance to it.
Or they
There's
die.
that. Anyone is needing a... Is it a +1 weapon?
Yep.
Yep.
Ah, there, yeah. So if anyone wants to be in melee more, I say pretty much only looking at Xavier, because I know Arkva doesn't... I was gonna say doesn't dirty his hands with his work. No, he only
Arkva
wants
has
to dirty
his
his
He
hands.
only dirties his hands.
Yeah, Akva has a specialty, and
You've
he's
only
already,
ever
he's already in the process of upgrading those.
and you've only ever seen Christine use daggers and a light crossbow.
It's a short
Which
sword,
that's-
by the way.
Yeah.
So there's that. If not, we'll put it in the party slush fund. And when we get somewhere, we'll trade it for something or get some more gold for other things.
What about that eye patch? I noticed that that didn't get destroyed.
Correct.
Conversation
just-
ends.
I'm
Yep.
assuming that that's also magical and it has a very bad effect.
Morality is kind of a strange concept to grasp. You might need to direct yourself to Akuvra for one of his philosophy lessons in order to understand where I'm coming from.
Inside check.
I...
And he's telling the truth.
Where is...
Ooh, 14.
I'll inspiration that.
Alright.
Is it
14.
is it
17.
pretty obvious that he just took it? I feel like that's just obvious.
Actually, I'm also gonna burn a fortune of the many.
I will then make
There's only
use-
3 of us though.
Cutting words.
Yeah. I mean, not really, because that kind of gives it away.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Battle ready telepathy.
Doesn't help.
Technically, you're even, I think, 'cause there's only 3 of us around.
Either way, I'll say, even with the bonus Xavier, you aren't able to read much of Osiris' expression, being a man of the artistic talents and a man of the stage and play, and not that he does many of those nowadays.
Tour.
An actor, if you will. The
Hmm.
dude is really good at controlling his facial expressions.
It's
And you-
all wrinkles.
Yeah,
It's also a turtle.
yeah. It's like hard to read A turtle, B, Osiris.
See old.
The only reason I bring it up is I look at you with my semi-dead eye. You notice that I got this right, and yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes I want to conceal the ability that I can see invisible things.
I will sleep on it, and we will see.
He's gonna wake up with the eye
Okay.
patch on. He's just gonna take it, which is
Yeah.
fair.
It's fine.
Does it at least do something useful?
I have trust issues for a reason.
That's
Tell me
fair.
about it.
He says to Christine.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Oh, did we
Yes.
long rest?
No, it's still the same day.
Okay. Then I'll put my spells back where they are.
If this meeting is this meeting ending here?
I'm assuming Osiris doesn't go
Yeah.
on like I ask.
I'm only going to do one thing in the evening if no one else has done it by that point.
Who's on board at the top on Sunset?
Probably me.
How long have we been traveling for?
All day, pretty much, at this point.
I'd say Aqua would have come up at some point by then, as he needs to
6 Terra.
approach someone staring at a mast.
She's lying on the ground staring at the mast.
Christine will hear in her head, come see me later.
Oh, okay. If later is sunset, then I wouldn't be up on the deck.
Yeah, we can say that this is happening. You guys are going down to talk about that privacy while Akfa comes up.
Yeah.
She's still staring.
I don't... It's probably best just to leave her for now. It might have to be something that... I'll think of something.
She's gonna need to know sooner or later. Physical exhaustion is a killer.
I know.
I'm gonna watch the sunset. You guys have fun.
Mhm.
Putting the book and the glasses away.
I like those little glasses.
Still don't know what's in the
Learned
book.
lion.
It's
I
such
don't
a
know
good
what's
look
in
though.
this book.
It's such like a good look though of like the Leone like with the gauntlets on, holding a book with his like little glasses on. It's
You know,
such
how
a...
much? Can I roll something, see how much progress I'm making through this book and what this book is even about?
What is the book about?
Tell us.
That's a good question. I am going to assume it's just some
Philosophy.
novel with pictures.
It's
Where-
called
where did you
Kittens
get it?
and Where They Lie.
Or maybe it's a language guide. I don't know. I just sort of picked it up someday.
It's Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Oh,
You know what? Sure. That's why I can't read it.
it's too many words.
I'm making actually surprising progress.
It's the
Even
Kama
the reading.
Sutra. I like looking at the images.
Of war.
So,
Artful will be about looking at the sunset.
so then we'll do the Osiris Christine thing first then.
So you just like come down like when sort of it is suggested to do so, and yeah, we'll be here before you. Just sort of slight chill in ahead of what exactly is happening.
So, this eye patch does do a few things,
I figured as much.
and I don't see. Oh, this is gonna make me sound like such a bad guy. I understand trust is a two-way street, but this eye patch, believe it or not, directly counters my whole reading thoughts thing. And you can't
Ah.
tell if they're lying.
I can see where that line of thought comes in. I mean, you say like trust is a two-way street, and you're a bit worried about sounding like the bad one. Keep in mind, I wasn't that long ago in a similar mindset of distrusting of a lot. So it's not exactly extremely surprising. It's understandable. It's always good to be on alert in some case. Never know where the hurt might come from.
Then let's hope this leap of faith isn't a leap of death instead.
I think
I will give it to him, but
I
he
think-
has to know that what I expect.
your decision is an understandable one. But yeah, I mean, you probably would know better how a lot of us are than I would. I've spent a lot of time turning away from the group, so I trust your decision on it.
And I understand my reading of thoughts is incredibly invasive.
She kind of like, when you say that, she like almost slightly like turns away as to not be like not saying that she like confirms that is true, but there is that kind of look of like, yeah, it is. I get it.
Perhaps it'll help keep me in check then.
Not a bad idea.
I'll
Was that?
let the party know what it does before I give it to him. That way
Okay.
no one's kept in the dark, which I think is fair.
All right. Is that all you needed me for?
Oh yeah, and you should probably take this back. And he has her that towards you.
She takes it. Thank you for telling.
Keeping everything to myself. It's not a bad look.
It's not like a lot of us can use a lot of things as efficiently as you anyway.
I meant more information, but yeah, that too, I suppose.
That kind of works for both, really. You're good at gathering and utilizing information. I say that's the truth.
Well, I have someone to share the burden now.
She nods. And then she'll probably just let you go off.
I'm gonna go let everyone know, and someone's getting a cool eye patch.
As you start to you start to go up the stairs, you just hear from above, I think everyone should come up here. As we rewind a bit, as Arkva, you find a position to look at the sunset.
Perception or
Yes,
17.5?
and either or. As for anyone above who is looking outwards from the boat.
Oh god, don't make me fight.
Fuck.
I'm gonna use the pearl.
You're distracted by the person lying on the floor.
It happens.
And I'm going to assume that Terry, you're going to choose to fail because you're lying on the floor.
Yep.
As Aqua, you're staring out, watching the sun change the light sky from the vivid blue that it usually is to the beginnings of the purple and then the orange that take place as it sets. You notice probably about 100 feet away from you is a body floating in the water.
A body.
Yep. Just face down, floating in the water, about 100 feet off the boat.
Captain,
Yes?
there's a body in the water.
He's halfway down the stairs from the castle, and he stops. And he goes, where?
And Arkva will point out to it.
He looks over and sees it, and he's like, well, that's not one of ours.
Should we leave it or get closer?
Turning the ship is a bit of effort, but if you want to go get it, he tosses a line of rope to you.
Alright.
I don't think it's in the grabbing mood, most likely.
It's probably dead. Tara, be ready to help pull with the captain pull. That much.
I'll help pull.
As Arkva leaves and extend, I assume he has a long enough rope for this. Never mind.
Yeah,
Arkva
he tosses you
dives.
a rope.
Arkva dives in.
Yeah, you jump off the side of the boat, and swim out. It only takes you not even a minute to swim out to the body floating in the water. And you see a man. He looks like a sailor, but floating face down in the water. Oh no, he's very dead.
Arkva will gently in the water sort of flip it over to see the face if it's what's that term? Water bleached.
You flip it over, and the face is kind of contorted. As he rolls over, you see a large gash that runs from collarbone across his throat and up almost to the ear, and his face is twisted as if it was frozen, a shocked expression.
Arkva will pull on the rope a tiny bit, just so as to say, bring us closer, but he's gonna let go of the body before they get, he's not gonna go up the ship with it.
Yeah, you get pulled in. It doesn't take them much effort for, I'm assuming Xavier and Longtail both pull you in together.
You ever, and sort of trying to make it in a bit more of a visible light, you ever seen these sort of wounds?
And it looks well, the neck one looks like a knife, I would guess, or a claw.
May I roll an investigation check?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is like, forensics 101 that you do learn is like different types of murder weapons. It looks like the cut was definitely made by a blade. You can tell that this man was killed very quickly. And as you can tell by his expression, he was not in a good mood when it happened. And the weapon used was probably a small to medium-sized bladed weapon with a curved edge. It wasn't like a straight sort of cut.
Curved blade,
Pirates?
possibly.
As
Do we leave the body with the fishes, or
No.
as you're talking,
what's up?
you just hear, as Sharpclaw has gotten a telescope out. You may want to come up.
And you guys look at it and you see like a couple 100 feet off another body just floating in the water. And then a couple 100 feet, a third body. And as the ship starts continues rounding past an island, heading east towards your direction, you see a large 3-decked ship ahead of you, just slowly floating in the water. Sails partially drawn.
Does this ship look familiar?
Is this one
Yes.
come up too?
Yeah, by the time you guys come up, you guys see, you guys come up around the same time the ship starts rounding this island, and you guys see this ship just floating. It's facing away from you all, but even from the rear, you can recognize this ship.
Oh.
Thanks for the pull-up, Xavier. Your muscles are good for something.
Oh, there we go.
Ow.
I think this is the cartel ship.
I see about 20. I can't see past it though.
I'm sorry, 20? Oh. She probably looks over and is like, oh, okay.
As at this point you look and there's just like bodies dotting the water.
Was not an accident.
Though that might be a good thing. In a
Check
way.
for survivors in the water. We need people to help
I-
the ship gather supplies.
I doubt if they're surviving, there'd be some movement.
Judging by this one's condition, I don't think many will, Xavier. And judging by the stories or the impression I've gotten from Strongjaw, the cartel won't leave someone alive.
Turn to Strongjaw, see if there's like a nod of like.
Strongclaw,
right.
like,
That one, Strong.
yeah, he looks at this, he's
sorry.
looking like concerned. He looks at Longtail. Longtail is like, like a glance passes through the three of them, and they're just like, this isn't good, but also like, this doesn't make any sense.
There's
They're all
also,
confused.
it's like, ethically, we should go. Moral of the water, an unwritten law. Make sure there are no people that need our help.
Save those in distress.
But this is a cartel vessel. Assumedly.
And the ship, you guys are still moving, like the sails are still up, ships kind of go on their own. You're moving quite a bit faster than this other ship is, and you're closing at a decent rate. The ship is angled where you guys are going to pass by it, but it's just kind of drifting.
How does it look? Does it appear to be more intact?
Can I
It's the
borrow
exact
your
same.
Can I borrow your telescope, Captain?
He like, nods his head and waves, and Strongclaw tosses or Sharpclaw tosses the spyglass to you. Like, don't break it.
No.
They are very expensive.
Arkville wants to get a good look at the cartel ship.
Yeah, roll perception.
I'm not used to one eye.
No, go ahead. You do have advantage because of the spyglass.
It is a.
So with advantage, is that any better?
Yes.
Slightly better?
1 second.
You get through, and it takes a bit as you continue getting closer. You like getting across, and you don't see a single sign of movement at all across the deck as you guys like swing a bit wide, you get a good view as more of the ship comes into sight, and there's no one on deck.
Captain?
See, unlike the last time, there is a black flag raised with a skull drinking from a beacon and like a medicine cross behind that.
Yes.
That ship is... There's no one on it. Not above ground, not above that I can see. Do the cartel have a uniform exactly? Referring
No,
back to the body we pulled up.
not really. They're just sailors and dogs for the most part.
How many people would take to crew that ship?
50 odd,
And there's a lot of bodies in the water.
and there was quite a few back at the island, back at the temple as well.
We might be sailing into something more dangerous than the cartel.
Wouldn't be a mutiny, would it?
If it was a
There'd be more
mutiny,
there'd be people on deck, wouldn't there?
well, they probably wouldn't want to kill so many the ship could not sail. And this, you guys are getting close enough now that you can all see with your own eyes, like there's no movement at all. He like Longtail points out like the sails are half drawn, like they were in the middle of changing them. He points nothing. The flag is raised. I don't know why somebody would do that.
Is that their normal flag, or?
You. Legally speaking, ships only carry one flag. Let's just say sometimes you carry a few extras just in case.
I can jump aboard and check, but
Yeah, I
if you
reckon
think it's best we keep going.
I don't think we can abandon these people on the water.
There
easily,
could be
Captain.
someone on board that needs help. As much as it disgusts me, should at
Blow
least
the
try.
anchor.
And
Get me close. I can
yeah,
teleport on and throw a rope. Or maybe
Longtail
something.
calls out to the other two, and they immediately run to action, start tying ropes up and things. The sails are pulled in very quickly.
can I
And the
see a
boat's
point on
also
the other
slow.
one I could just climb up if I were to swim to it?
Well, he's pulling up close to the point where when you're getting close enough, you could just leap off the ship and grab the ropes hanging off the side of that ship.
Oh, the rope's hanging off on the side already. Okay.
Yeah, they're like part way down. They're not always down, unusual,
Yeah.
but it seems like that the ones that are coiled at the top has on one side have been like partially released and like dangling half open.
Oh, I won't have to
That's the
actually miss a
plan.
step then.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the next like 3 or 4 minutes, the ship pulls up slower, and then when they get close, Longtail and Sharklaw both toss the anchor over the side, and the ship like brings to a halt. It's like, okay,
Anyone coming aboard should be quiet.
if everything is not dangerous up there, let us know and we will help out. You know, code of the sea and whatnot.
Exactly.
I'll go up with you.
Yeah, as will I. And I'll quickly tell Terra in her head, so she can't shush me, that we'll be boarding the ship. Protect the mast. And I will cast invisibility on myself. Elu will cast invisibility on Akvar. And I assume Christine can take care of herself with invisibility.
Lamau.
And that just leaves me.
There's a reason I specified we should
I
go on
figured someone had
quietly.
to stay with the ship.
Yeah.
The dude with the plate mail is probably best to do that.
I have leather armor. I don't have the best of stealth, but I do have magics.
Xavier, you'll hear us making noise if there's danger. Stay with the crew.
Is anybody alive on that ship? Keep them that way, please.
Hugford's already jumped off to start climbing.
Don't
Yeah.
think I plan on anything particularly.
As you leap off, you grab a rope. It's not difficult to do so, and you start hauling yourself aboard Akvar.
Do you want me to
Okay.
use stealth?
Yeah, roll stealth check
If
you
you're doing that, go ahead.
Should that be
You have
with
with
advantage.
advantage because you're invisible.
I'll go
I am-
second.
Okay, so 22.
So you
stealth,
haul
stealth,
yourself
stealth,
up. You pull yourself over the banister, and you're standing on the actual deck.
stealth.
Never be heard again.
Do I? Don't I? No, I'm gonna save my inspiration.
Okay.
The three of you climb up over the deck, and as you're standing there, Arkva, you as soon as you get over the deck, you immediately slink off, and like there's almost nowhere to hide on the deck itself, so you really duck into like the shadows of the stairwell. But then you remember you're invisible, so it doesn't matter. Osiris, you're invisible. You're all good. And Christine, you hop up, and then you realize there's basically nowhere to hide. The deck is pretty much clear. You see ropes lying unattended on the ground. You see like the hooks that are meant to hold up the rope bridges that hold like on the side of the ship. Only like 3 of them are actually correctly latched, and one of them is like had been like kind of torn.
Blood is all over the deck itself.
Any bodies, or no? They've all just been thrown over.
There's no bodies.
As you look around, you see as it is a 3-tier deck, you see that there is 2 rising areas, one for the bow and one for the rear. The one at the rear seems to have a door, and the one towards the bow seems to be more like just an entryway for staircases leading down.
I think
Did you
I'll.
wish to have that?
Thank you.
I think I'll head towards the door, being the one that isn't invisible, and not being able to hear the other 2 where they're going. I'm going to hope that they just kind of also notice me moving and maybe follow us back up if I need it.
That's one thing as well. You look through the door, there is like a pane of glass on the front of the door, and while it's a very fogged, you can't really see through it, you do clearly see light coming from the other side of the door.
I'll try to observe better for it if I can.
Yeah. You get up to it, you get close and like look through. It's like I said, it's not clear glass. You can't really see through it. The vague impressions you can get on the other side is like there's a candle of some kind in that room lit, and there's definitely things in the room, but you don't really see any movement.
Okay, that's like the main thing.
I'll start dropping the pirate flag down so it's not up there for other people to see.
Yep, you pull it down. It only takes like 30 seconds to quickly hoist it in.
Probably hearing that, I like the flag being pulled down. I'll probably like wait near the door just in case before going in until that's done.
Can I just open the door next to Christine carefully?
Yeah.
I'll wait to the side.
You slowly push open the door. It creaks a little as you do so. As you
Footsteps may be silent, but the door is not.
As you peer through the door, you see sitting on this quite fancy desk is 2 black feminine boots. And like there seems to be someone in black armor just rocking on a wooden chair, eating like a plate of cooked food.
Arkva is going to carefully check, sort of, while not fully opening the door, check down the bottom and the top for tripwires.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, make a
Cautious
roll
as
for it.
that sounds.
Yeah, roll investigation.
Yep. My best skill.
As you have a look, as you're trying to pierce out like the light reflecting, that's usually what these invisible wires that are used for these sort of traps. You can't spot them at all, either at the top or the bottom.
If there is none that I can see, to see if the person sitting here notices, I'm going to give the door a little push, just to make sure they can notice it opens. I assume Christine is out of sight properly. So.
At the moment, yeah. Like after like sort of peering to the side when the thing would be pulled down, hearing the door open, she just kind of like doesn't peek in and is just waiting like for your sounds of footprints, like focusing as much as she can on them.
Mm-hmm. Is there a reaction?
Is there?
If you're going to come in, you may as well. Whoever you are. Clearly not one of the people that were on the ship. That
I can't drop the invisibility.
No, at this point, I'd probably push like the other, like I'm assuming it's like doubles, like I'd push the other one open and show myself properly.
Sitting.
Keep the other 2 as invisible as possible.
As I said,
so
sort
I
of.
see Christine.
Yes. You see, leaning back on the chair, like plate in one arm, fork in the other, very exaggerated, like, yes, I'm eating, I've conquered this place. You see
Wine, please.
this
Chair?
woman.
Here she is.
I wish to whisper in Christine's ear.
Go for it. Sweet nothings?
If they... I'm gonna get closer. I want to see if they notice.
She
I'm
doesn't
looking
respond.
directly at Christine at this
Yeah.
point.
She doesn't respond. She's like, she hears it, but she tries her best to not give any sort of notification that she did hear it.
Arkva will take a sort of arced approach.
Let's get you to select your character. Has it already happened?
Yeah.
And feel free
Yeah.
to make a perception check if you want to notice.
Yeah, I'll make a
Arkva.
perception, but at first she's
Do you want me to
focusing
reroll
on
stealth?
Christine.
I imagine
We'll use
I'd
your
walk-
old one.
I imagine I'd
22.
walk forward a bit, like as Akfor does, just to kind of hide his footprints as best as I can.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Yeah, you did.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Do you want me to
Did you
reroll
already play a
stealth?
rogue though?
As you with your we'll say with your 22 from before, as much as Christine is trying to like walk as Arkva is trying to walk at the same time as Christine is to like give her the thing, it is creaky, and you are much heavier than Christine is, so the louder footprints do not work well with
Although she still wouldn't be able to visibly see me.
no, but
No.
My, your footfalls betray you, Christine. Speaking of which, the wanted poster, yeah, does nothing for you.
You see, like, as merely you say her name, she just like pauses her movements when the other movements probably don't, and she just looks in like that worry comes up now, and she's like almost like pulls like her left hand, oh no, her right hand up to like her necklace.
You don't need to cast any spells. I'm not here to harm you.
Is there a desk in this room as well?
yes, she's sitting on it.
Honest.
Make scratches appear on the desk.
Hello.
You would appear
yes.
then if you did that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to make
Oh.
sure I appear right next to with the claws drawn.
And it's Jakufa, Akfa, I can't remember the name. It's all mixed up.
Name doesn't concern you, but you seem
I
to know why
understand.
we're here.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting you to be on the ship either, but surprisingly, I was actually looking for you.
Then let's make it a
Reasoning?
third, and I'll drop my invisibility.
And the man I was looking for, after all, Cyrus.
Okay,
Allow me to
explain.
introduce myself. My name is Sylvie.
Perhaps skip the formalities. Tell us, do you know why everyone is dead?
Because I killed them. They're cartel. I guess you can say I have a bone to pick with them.
Okay, everyone here
And,
does.
one moment. And she pulls out a pendant, opens the pendant, which has a picture in it, that she then pulls out another part of it, and pulls out a little... It's like a little trinket, like a wooden trinket, a shroud symbol.
The symbol that
Hands
most of
it
you
to
don't
Osiris.
recognize. Yeah, Cyrus, as soon as you look at it, you recognize the shroud symbol, and Christine and Oxford, the most you would know is it's a symbol that you realize Mardo carried at one point as well.
Right. Okay.
You both see Osiris's like tense stature, like ready to go, ready to do anything. Relax a bit. Oh, this makes this far easier.
Does it actually?
Yes, it does.
In what way? Please explain.
Everywhere. She's part of the shroud.
So should I drop the claws then?
Does that make you feel more comfortable? By all means.
I mean, feel free to keep the claws. I'm liking looking at them, honestly. Give me one moment. And she gets the trinket, puts it over the candle, allows it to burn a bit, drops it on the ground and stamps on it. I won't be needing that anymore.
And
I guess
why
you
should we
probably-
worry?
Oh, I'm getting rid of it. It'd be terrible if cartel were to find it. Not good for business, you see.
Cyrus, if I can leave you this to you, I'm gonna check the other decks for anything we
Yes.
might need.
Yes, probably wise.
Oh, I believe there are some things down there as well you might like.
I'll first go call out to Xavier and just tell him he's gonna have to be ready to catch some stuff.
Yeah, do you want to give everyone a sit rep?
Probably wait on the sit rep just a minute. And as Agavor leaves, I'd probably just close the door.
I'll just finish this class, I guess.
Neither, I don't think Dimmy is back.
I'm back.
Okay. Xavier, over the Okay, both of you can hear this. Yell over from the other ship. I'm gonna be throwing some stuff down to you. There's no danger.
I would
what
say
are-
no danger.
What are you throwing before you throw it?
Supplies.
Okay. Good question, Captain. Do we have enough for a skeleton crew at least for that?
Upgrades.
It depends on how much. This is a full, almost galleon-sized ship.
We're missing one person.
We might. Depends on what you're bringing.
It depends what Aqua finds. He's going to look for whatever supplies are left below deck.
You head
Let's
down.
see.
We'll cover that, like what you find in a bit. But I'll say when you go down, the first floor you reach is like you can see there's slots in the side where almost immediately getting down there are like 2 large ballista on each side, with these like covers that kind of block off, and then going the length of that at the very end, there's like another latch that goes even deeper down in the ship. There's like bolts and things for those. Going below the next level down, the first thing you're greeted with is a dead person.
I'm used to dead. It's fine.
As there's a man who has this like large bladed gash in his back, and then another dude like 10 feet away who's got like this like black twisting through his like neck and arm. It just lays there on the ground dead. And you basically find about another 15 or so people who didn't seem to be who for some reason they're down here on the cargo deck, and the bilge deck below that. And you see like just a smattering of dead sailors.
Yeah, it'll probably take a while, as Aqua's going to go sort of a process of finding supplies, throwing them up to the next floor, then pushing them up. Just a big
Yeah.
group at once.
You see, like,
What you find in the end.
At-
There's a stack.
you see there's like a bunch of like cargo like for food and premises, but there also seems to be a door at the end of the third area, which you could probably assume is like a treasury sort of room.
That might be priority.
As we jump back to the other group.
So, would you like me to explain, or would you like to ask the questions? Which would you prefer?
Turn to a
An
start.
explanation would be better.
I personally like one as well.
Questions?
Explanation.
Okay. Well, I was sent here by my superiors to find you all, which I conveniently just walked straight up to me. It has been quite the struggle to get to you. I guess you could say I smuggled myself onto this ship for a time, and
Can I intercept? How long were you chasing us?
That is a good question, DMs.
A few weeks.
It's been a few weeks now. I wouldn't say I was chasing you. I've been sent to hopefully find you and see if you would like some employment. We seem to be having a little bit of issues with the whole civil war that's going on, well, so to speak. It's fun. It's been a while since we've had a civil war. What was it, like 10 years now? I'm not sure. I forget. Anywho, there's a lot of stuff going on in that area of the world, and they would very much like it if you could come and help with that. Understanding you have prior business and the KC, I'm more than happy to wait for you to conclude that prior business. And they have also offered a reward of sorts. Cash, information, a favor. You know, favor is in maybe clearing your names, or whatever you prefer.
Steve, you hear in your head, well, a favor from them could be what we need for more information to find this vessel to get your mother back quicker. They have relatively deep reaches.
You can tell I was going to like sort of speak up and ask like more questions, and then after like hearing that, I don't. And for Sylvie's point of view, like it's like I go to speak and then I just be quiet.
I'm gonna inside that.
Go for it. I don't really know if it's deception or not.
It's probably
I'll
just
do
a passive charisma check.
Passive charisma, 15 if it's a skill at deception, 18.
You can see that she was going to say something and then got like held off on it.
She just smiles and winks at you, and then turns back to Osiris. So that's the
civil war you're talking about is what's happening in Ghislaine, yes? You've been very vague with location.
Oh no, this Amaris.
Empire?
Yes, they seem to be having a little bit of issues with Sonaris.
Remember those fun people?
It's actually so basically the rundown, because I'm assuming you haven't been in that area, you probably haven't heard all that much information for a while. Let me see off the top of my head. The governor's dead. The insurrectionists took power over key parts of the city by force, replacing pretty much all the non-Cenarian members of the city council with members of their group. And they brought a team of specialists in to go into the Soul Forge, which is, I'm assuming you know about the Soul Forge.
How much do I know about the Soul Forge?
Roll a history check.
I imagine at least basics, but hey, you know, might know more. Did I remember one student had a robot in school?
Yeah, you when you did some classes, you learned about it, but the Soulforge was a big thing that the Sumerian Empire used to create Warforge.
So they used it, okay.
And then it was illegal to make Warforge.
Yeah, I found it weird when one student was carrying a robot around. I was like, is that legal? Who cares? Yeah, okay, yeah, she takes that. I mean, yes, I know of it. The Academy in Ghislaine does teach that for, well, history mainly.
Quite illegal, isn't it? Anyway, they've been waking them up again. So we have a few Warforged to deal with, which they seem to have been implementing into their guard forces in both Samaria and Illowell, and their military as well, which is making things a bit difficult.
By governor, do you mean the king or no?
The
Do you mean just
governor the governor of Samaria, I guess. Like,
Oh, I thought you meant like when the governor was killed. I thought you meant like one in Emirates
Not the
Empire.
No. The king is a
Sovereign's
sovereign.
fine, as far as I know.
Say that again, AJ?
The king is a sovereign.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Just one confirmation.
No, it's all good. That's what we're here for.
Trade has been fairly affected. Well, I say fairly, it's been completely affected. And they're basically forcing anyone who is in Cenarian or allied out of Illowell. So, completely ruined. Samaria is also having issues, but apparently they're mining mithril again, which is probably not a good thing. There's no new Warforged yet, but they are making all the old ones wake up. Empire's been doing everything they can, apparently, but except for, you know, marching on and stopping it when they can. I guess the Sovereign is concerned about loss of life.
You said they're moving people out of the Empire as a whole.
Oh, they're kicking people out of Illowell that aren't Cenarian.
Okay.
Or allied. So it's not technically allied at the moment with the movement, but it may as well be.
Alright.
Yes, it's all happening. Oh, and there's some weird bugs as well.
What
Who
about the
sent
rest
me?
of the Empire? Oh, you first.
Who sent you?
Did you guys tell me who sent me? Because I am not 100% certain.
Uh,
I know I
If
heard
you
from
say
Cloud.
it's Mark, I will DC.
the Shroud sent you. You don't really. You just get people from high up in the chain of command.
I assume dead drops.
You can assume from the this came probably from the top. This came from Kynan.
Ugh.
As far as I know, it's probably come from Kynan, but again, you know how we are. Someone tells someone who tells someone to do something.
Which to Christine, you can roll history, but Osiris, you know how bad that is.
And inside as well, if you like, on me.
Nah, I'm good. I will do the inside though, definitely, because my first reaction after shooting your name would be to turn to Osiris.
Yeah.
I will inspiration that one.
That was 16.
I'll do it again, just in case. I want a high number. That was a 19 on my screen. Fuck you. 16.
It was a 19 on my screen too.
16.
How do I want to do this?
16 and some change because I'm cool looking and.
I
know
will
you pretty
say
well.
when that name drops and you know how bad that might be, there is no confusion or shock on Osiris's face.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
I'm assuming I don't know the person or in history.
You know of him
Yeah,
through
you know, you've
statecraft.
heard the name before, you just can't place it.
Yeah.
But considering I heard the name of someone in these kinds of organizations, that means they must have been important because you don't really hear any of
You didn't hear him from this organization.
Yeah, that's the point.
You
like,
heard
it's
of him
really-
from another thing.
Yeah. Oh, from right. Oh no.
Yeah.
Which is basically, if you remember, he's revealing something really important, but you don't remember. So
Yeah, I don't.
I ain't game remember.
Too
Okay.
bad.
I had a game.
I think in game the only person who knows is Cyrus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've met him once, haven't I? We all met him once.
But not in this context.
not in this context.
Yeah.
In this context, Osiris is the only one who knows.
Then I wouldn't know anything anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want us to
Understandable.
stop a civil war?
They'd like your help. They want a party that aren't so much affiliated with any political stance. Gets a bit messy, you see.
No, that's right. We don't have her anymore, so that, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, no political stance.
Yeah,
have-
no political stance.
the princess. She's not with you?
For now.
That's a shame. Heard she was
Then-
quite pretty. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Subjective.
not everyone likes blondes, but you know. Anywho, I have. Understandably, you don't trust me. You've only just met me. You found me on a ship filled with corpses and probably lots of bodies in the water as well.
They
I have
haven't
some
seen the
information for
corpses
you.
down below.
Do you know if any of this is spread throughout the Empire itself, or is it just still isolated?
Do I know that?
The only other thing in the Empire that is a note is the bug thing. Everything else is still on the eastern front.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be pretty much located there. There are some weird bug creatures surfacing in Dustview Andivine area. I don't think that's connected, though. I think that's just bugs.
Me
It's
three crate.
strange. Not 3 cream, just bugs.
If you two want to roll history, you can.
Is
Can
that the
do.
same kind of bug creatures we fought?
Please don't be rust monsters.
Come on.
17. Come
Is
on.
What do you mean, Rustle?
It wasn't.
Sure-
It wasn't so long ago that you forgot Cyrus, but you fought a weird bug thing in that area.
that's what I was thinking. I swear
was?
it was that. Yeah, we did. We fought bugs at a farm place, remember?
Yeah, we did.
At Old Will's farm.
Oh, Will. You forgot Will?
Arkville
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
there for that.
I don't know who that is.
No! I remember. I actually remembered that as a
I know what bug thing they're talking about.
That was when
Yeah.
you heard Galardi in the party, if that helps.
Yeah, it
No,
was
no, no.
right before we got to Andivine. It was when we were on the last little leg of the journey. We helped out a farm place.
Yeah.
We stayed there. You really don't remember this?
You mean the burrowing things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the ankles.
Right.
Where the knees at?
Okay. Vaguely remember.
Thumbs up.
I know that you seem to have a bone to pick with the cartel, Osiris. You might have some use of these notes that I found. Well, I had to decode a little bit of it, but I don't know if this is of any use to you. She just hands you the journal that I found with her notes to the side. I can send that through to you if you'd like.
Yeah?
Cool.
Oh, I hate this.
I'll just send it all through.
Really? Someone to use the poisoned short sword?
Are you gonna read it immediately, Osiris, or?
Yes.
Oh, then I'll give a general description.
Now let Osiris read it out.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Osiris can read it. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Should I just send it through on the Discord?
You might as well, so
Everyone
they
can see it?
yes,
I'm gonna show it to
yeah,
everyone
you
anyway.
might as well since they can read it. Just get rid of the part that if Darian copied that part that says where it was supposed to be found.
Hang on a sec, I'm just gonna make sure I'm doing this right then.
God, I don't like this.
So there was a treasury down here too.
Yes, you know what? We'll jump to there. As they're handing out the notes, as you go into the treasury, you see a large chest full of several parts of coin.
This is gonna be a heavy trip.
You see a whole bunch of other treasure and actual like stuff to sell, like cloth. There seems to be fine engraved gear, porcelain. There seems to be a quiver of arrows that seemingly doesn't look damaged in any way. A chest containing copper ingots. I will and a smaller crate with a couple of potions. I will send you the link to see.
I will say I'll add all of this into the pile of what I'm gonna chuck, and then I'll have to figure out how much we can carry as I chuck it over.
Yeah, no, I'll send the parcel your
Just see
way.
if there's anything in there that Arthur would personally pocket.
Yeah, essentially, Sylvie pulls out this like ledger and drops it down there with some notes next to it. A journal, like basically a book looks like a journal, and a letter that's like an opened letter.
She uses the back of the open letter to write the notes on it.
And like an old black book, like a faded symbol, like a silver symbol on it. It's like very faded with time.
I save that down there for the moment.
Am I reading all of it? That's a lot.
You don't have to read all. You can paraphrase as well.
Also, you can pass off the reading to someone else when you're like, I'm done. Someone else do this.
No, committed. A ledger in a collection of different parchments with different names on them determining sale records. Man has seemed to have known that supply has been slowing down for around a year or so. A journal where he dictates some of his thoughts is encoded, but after years of training, you have learned to quickly decode the information. I assume that is not for me.
Yeah.
An entry from a few months back complaining about where he was passed out on where he passed up on a shipment of file fluid. What I could do with a supply of file fluid like that. Followed up with some angry remarks regarding the receipt of this shipment and a Samara red fang. Ugh. When he gets to that point, his face narrows. Extravagant snake bitch who doesn't know the full understanding of what she has and is only looking for monetary gain. Oh, so that was the thing, yeah? The shipments of fire fluid is what we were looking for.
Yep. You bastard.
Don't read that yet. Etikaz is pissed off that he didn't get it.
Yeah.
That means Samara has it.
Yeah.
A few of the later entries involve solutions to his current old person predicament, one of which is killing the old people and replacing them with his own alchemists, but can't think of a solution to harvest the urchins that's cost effective. Brewing water, breathing potions wastes time and costs a decent amount.
The ledger you see above, it's very clearly, with the notes of the decoding, it's showing Sutus sales and like the rate at which they're producing it and selling it, and they're very quickly, you can see without looking at it that there is a problem coming, and the demand is rising and supply cannot keep up.
There is a letter to Etikaz.
Well, that should be
Etikaz, yeah.
Etikaz from Zircon Adamonte.
Which when you read that, you just freeze.
That is a name you recognize well.
I assume there's a specific bladed tonfa wielder.
Yep, this is him.
I'm imagining like you're kind of maybe not reading fully out loud, but like just like reading out loud, and like you just pause on that, and I'm just sort of kind of moving a bit forward just to see if you're alright. Like,
Make an insight check.
I definitely will. So you know what?
I'm going to as well.
He's not okay.
Okay, cool. Does a 8 get me there?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, that's yikes.
Anything above a 0 would have got you there.
I wish I had a negative.
She doesn't say anything, she's just watching.
There's an X here, I believe, because we covered from Tez's notes.
Oh yes, we didn't.
There's an X.
Oh, no, it's there. No, never mind. It's the right thing.
Next
Regarding
lover
how
or
No, don't worry.
Regarding how the Larder saved one of the former dealing vessels from an attack and currently has the crew and stock on board his ship. Is that saying that he has it now? No, he has the...
It's saying
It
that
says that there was one of Edekaz's ships was attacked, and Zircon has recovered both of the crew from the
Right,
attack
yeah.
and the goods from it.
Got ya. Okay. Telling him a location near Firestalk Isle to pick them both up. A small paragraph noting that Edekatz's methods about the production of suitors is not viable anymore as the people are getting old, and that he needs to think of something new. P.S. at the bottom of the notes to destroy this letter after he reads it.
Which you can
old-
tell he clearly hasn't done.
An old black book with a faded silver symbol that has the number of cooking recipes, most of which use improper measurements.
If you want to make it an intelligence or a wisdom check, Osiris.
Oh, can do.
we making drugs now? It's time to cook. I think.
Intelligence check. I don't think I have anything to help me with this.
Or wisdom,
I'm not a
either
level 14, but no, intelligence is way better.
You don't do wisdom?
9.
Food's a bit weird, but that's it. Anyone else who's read the book? Christine, if you're looking at it, you can roll as well. Silver, you can roll too if you consider.
Just
you would've
flat
rolled the best of it.
intelligence?
Either wisdom or intelligence.
Me reading this out and going over these measurements, am I able to give inspiration to others, to another person?
It's okay. They don't need it.
Now give it to me
The
anyway.
important
I'll
thing
do it
is
anyway.
when you read out some of the instructions and like what the dishes are meant to make and the things, both Christine and Sylvie, you can recognize. Even though Christine, you haven't done a lot of cooking in your time, these would be horrendously bad dishes. Like the measurements are all very wrong. The numbers don't add up. Ingredients don't make any sense.
What are they trying to make?
And Sylvie, because of your sort of background, you know that it's encoded. Like, it's definitely encoded. It's not telling you what it's encoded for, and even your training isn't letting you understand what this is.
It's coded for sure. Not sure how to break it though, unfortunately.
I have
Okay.
methods, I just need time.
Definitely worth trying.
To put it as a short answer, no. No, I'm not.
Okay. I'm like kind of like half like looking at Osiris, but also like trying not to keep my eyes off Sylvie for too long. Like still not 100% in that yay friend buddy. Like it's like you are still an unknown.
That's
He'll
Kind of.
yeah.
put the documents away with his spell book and all that sort of stuff to dwell on later, I suppose. But right now, when do you guys need an answer to this? We are kind of in the middle of something, but their help might expedite what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's the reason why they sent me in the first place rather than trying to contact you.
And
I'm here to help.
I would
turn-
have preferred to be contacted.
if I turn to Osiris at this point, like just for a brief moment, just ignoring Sylvie. And is there like a sort of issue if we were to decline that help?
No, the Shroud has never insinuated repercussions for not taking on jobs. I can't imagine why they would start now.
Precisely what he said.
That's not sounding too bad then.
Oh, you're more than welcome to turn me away.
This is something we need to discuss with everyone, though.
Also, if you do decide to take me on, there are some things I'd like to do here as well. I think they align with what you're maybe considering doing as well, Osiris.
We will discuss this when we're all together. For now, I assume you've left no survivors.
Pretty sure I didn't. Well, what was left anyway.
I just imagine you can hear thuds below deck.
Seems like your friends are dealing with that. Also, well, you know what? I'll wait until everyone's gathered. Would you like me to stay here while you sort that out, or shall I come with you?
It is up to you, and I will turn to Christine. Maybe we can take this ship in. Maybe we could sell it if we scratch out the name of the vessel, clear it so there's nothing left on board, and say we found an abandoned ship in the middle of the ocean. We
I'll
could
say, 'cause-
tow the smaller boat behind us.
I didn't
Get
tell you
everyone up
guys
here.
what I was doing. I just sort of went down below deck.
Yeah, you did. I'm allowed to reply, right? No, I can't I?
No, I was just talking to you. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed to reply like with the same sort of thing, is it?
No.
It's not
He's-
telepathic, yeah.
My thing is one way.
Yeah,
Not
that's
using
right.
spell or anything. Like that.
Okay.
But I was just talking to you. I wasn't.
Yeah, he was using his voice.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were because every time you do, it's always that.
I will always proceed it with you hear in your head.
That's fair. I guess I'd reply just, is it possible to even use the ship and the flag as something to get us close to? You said there was a location, right, on this?
I really don't like that idea.
I
I
just wanted
think
to know
it
if
can
it was
go
a possibility.
very wrong very quickly because we're impersonating something where we don't understand how they hold themselves, how they communicate, all that, and they'll be tipped off and shoot us out of the water.
We both have a
Just
sudden
wanted to know.
intuition that Arthur's going to burn the ship down.
I smell fire.
Did you?
Do
Let's
I
go see
smell
the others.
fire?
No,
It's not
None
a-
of these. I'm hoping you haven't started
I
burning the ship
currently
yet.
know it's a joke.
At least
No,
wait
no,
till
I
like
gotta
the
get
after
everything
all.
off first.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
He's. Jesus.
Alright then.
But yeah,
let's go.
keep going.
I was just gonna say, like, alright, let's go. We need to make sure that Xavier knows at least.
I presume no one wants a glass. She's like holding the bottle out of crappy Gislanian red. It's like it's just a bottle of Gislanian red. It's not even the good stuff.
Not
no,
currently. It's not time to unwind. Well, not for me anyway.
It's-
You're more than welcome to, Christine.
Rather garbage. I wouldn't
Mm.
if I were you.
No thanks. It reminds me of home.
Understandable. She just like puts the cork back in the bottle and just sort of like.
Unsure if you understand exactly.
I guess I did get a little bit of a codex though.
I guess I'll just turn away at that point. Just leave her.
Smiles.
Reconvene with the
Mm.
others.
Yeah, Akvo, you've made more than one.
Yeah. That sounds like
when-
training it a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you make the first thing, Longtail is like, "Is it safe up there?"
Yeah. There's
Okay.
quite a bit of looks like. Which one of you has the strongest stomach?
Well, as soon as you say it's safe, he turns to the other two, says something quickly that Xavier, you hear, he's like, "Watch the ship, get ready to catch some things probably," and then he like leaps and starts climbing up the ropes.
Yeah.
He's like, Okay.
Longclaw.
Longclaw staying with you.
The captain.
Yeah, so Sharpclaw staying with you. Longtail is climbing up.
It's
I know,
Longtail.
complex names. Longtail is the
Longtail-
captain and the
Not
father.
us.
What is Longtail going up the ship?
Yes.
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 Longtail, do we have enough to skeleton crew that ship? I've got an idea.
He just starts laughing.
I was going to say, you could take that in. That could be your new ship when you dock. We take this one.
I thought you were joking for a moment. No. No, it could not be. Even if all of your friends helped crew, we aren't even halfway to the what we would need.
How many like crates that have I managed to train up so far?
A decent amount.
I will
Let's
say-
drag it behind us then.
I will say I will be leaving the treasury to last, but I will be splitting that tonight on the other ship, as I want. I
Is there
think
gonna be enough room on this ship though?
mostly for rations, and honestly, this isn't all that much.
Yeah, but that's for a crew of 50 plus people, and we're a crew like 6.
Yeah, what's in
I'm
the
worried
treasury?
about space.
Okay.
here.
To put your mind
Is
at
there
ease,
enough room
we're
physically on
taking
this
as
ship?
much until Longtail is basically like, okay, that's enough. So that's the limit here.
I was gonna say maybe we keep most of it on that ship. If we can drag that ship behind this ship.
That ain't happening.
Other way around.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would
well,
have to be the other way around. And with
I do
the
have a
front
question.
Unfortunately, it had to be that other way around. But if we have too much more on this ship, then we look more suspicious.
You do have a companion with a bag of holding.
I do have a question for Longtail once he gets up here.
Yeah, he climbs very quick. It's like he hops up and then within seconds he's next to you. He's like, okay, let's get the winch set up. Yes.
I have trained most of it up to at least the second floor and chucking it up to this one currently. This stuff in the treasury, I'll divide that amongst us and your crew later.
No problem.
Question for you though, how much can we take and do you want me to ignite this ship when we're done? There's a lot of dead bodies down there.
What? Oh, let's deal with that last. Let's deal with the things first. Let's see what we can store in the ship.
Alright, I'll shove things up, you throw them over.
Okay, everyone's dead down there, yes?
In the bottom floor, yes.
Okay, finders keepers. He starts like taking things. He basically ignores you trying to hand him things for like the first 10 minutes as he's setting up like a net and like ropes.
That's
and he
fine,
pretty
I'm
much
getting
he
off
sets up
there.
like a
A slide sort of deal.
he's basically designing it so they can lower stuff onto his ship without just throwing things off the side.
I look at it like I'm getting stuff up onto the top deck so he can have quick search
Yeah.
through, decide what's important, like rations or clothing or
He starts
stuff they can sell.
he shouts down to to his daughter and his son to like do a quick count of how much food supplies that they've got, because if they've got enough, they're probably not going to take more here, because they won't need it. They're dropping you off.
I'll be taking some for myself if they leave much.
Yeah, so they go around looking for things of note as you bring it all up on deck. At this point, as the net's been established, I'll say the conversation between Osiris, Sylvie, and Christine has ended with the two of them exiting the door.
She's kind of like sort of slowly sauntering behind them.
Yeah, like they've walked away from the door. You see Sylvie leaning up against like the frame, drinking wine.
Oh, she's left the wine behind. That wine's trash.
Are we all safe for Cyrus? Has it been sorted? As I'm sort of ready to go back down, I'm just waiting for an answer.
Yes, no.
Kind of. We all need to have a discussion.
Good, I'm not splitting anything with her.
Oh,
I already
please
took
don't.
my share.
Good.
Check to see if there's anything magical up there. You know, probably good.
As I'll I'll throw the parcel into the chat so you can see what we're getting. If there's anything that you guys want to keep for yourselves.
Yo, I want those rations.
Okay.
The divided gold is up above.
Yes.
Yep.
That is intended for us 5, not Sylvie, and I'm going to give part of that to the crew. As, quite frankly, they kind of deserve it after what they've dealt with us.
Alright, I will say, so in total, at the moment, with the stuff there is 90 platinum pieces, 1,800 gold pieces, 9,000 silver pieces, and 700 copper pieces. There is a fine leather merchant's cap trimmed with ermine. There's 20 square yards of cloth in a sack. There's a bone scepter that's engraved with spirals, a copper coffer, which is like a chest, engraved with thorned vines, a porcelain tankard painted with woodland imagery. There's a quiver of 20 arrows, which at some point Osiris you can tell is magical, you identify they're +1 arrows. There is a barrel of garlic, just a whole ass barrel of garlic.
Nice.
There's a chest that contains 10 copper ignits. There's a ornate silver mirror there, and there are 3 potions, 1 of animal friendship and 2 greater healing.
After like seeing like some of the rough things pulled up, I'm just gonna take the pearl out and just hand it back to Osiris in case he needs it.
To check.
Would I be able to know that silver mirror could possibly be used for scrying?
Let me have a
That's
look
the
at the
divided.
spell.
That's all the divided stuff, right, Sam?
Yeah, what I put up above, yes. With
Alright, cool.
the odds, the odd
Silver.
copper pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably put it down to 115 for yourself, and we'll just give the rest to the crew, just
That's
to make it easier.
I'm happy with that. That's good.
Yeah.
As you look at the mirror as it's tossed over, it doesn't look elegant enough to be used as a scrying tool.
Implement.
I will ask the captain. You think you'll be able to sell any of these?
To the random stuff.
Yeah, it was in their treasury.
We can make do. People like spices. He looks at the barrel of garlic, and cloth is very good. We can keep a few for our sails and sell the rest to the shipwright.
We can probably take the potions. I imagine we'll have need of them. If that is alright.
Understandable. Take anything that you want.
I also would be interested in that cloth if you don't think you'd be able to sell it for a high price.
Do you need 20 square yards of cloth?
A lot of
Maybe.
A lot of experimenting.
We can split it.
Do you know how much a square yard is? Like a particular one?
I'm just gonna take one of the potion degrader. Hold on.
Perhaps I'll just cut a bit off for myself and then,
If someone wants to take one for themselves, the potion degrader.
Yeah, we can split the cloth.
I'm gonna
we just check this in the
upcast.
play sheet and then delete as we go.
I'm gonna upcast to level 2 detect magic. What's magic?
Other than the non-conformist magical class of the arrows, nothing is magic. And the potions, but the potions are two have evocation magic, which are red, and the other one is a
Divination.
animal friendship is enchantment.
Okay.
I have a question for us and the crew. Do you reckon we were able to sail that, towing your vessel behind it until we get closer to a port town?
No. As I said to your friend below, you didn't hear. It would take double of if all of your friends, yourself, the one lying on my ship, everyone, including hello, as he waves to Sylvie, including her, we wouldn't even have half the crew for this ship.
Once you're all off the ship, Osiris, I plan to go below deck and ignite it within.
Very well.
Would you? Is there any weaponry aboard the ship that we could put on this ship?
They are ballista, but they are too big for this vessel.
We don't have a crane to lift one for one, and also, yeah, it's a bit big. We'd have to pretty much move the mast, which you can't really do. You don't move a mast.
Although if you want some weaponry, I mean, there was some on the corpses on the bottom deck.
Man's already got it.
Yeah, the corpses just had, if they weren't like none of them were really in fighting gear. The most they had was like a sax knife or a seax. Like,
I might take a couple of the basic knives. I assume they're smaller, like dagger size. I assume.
These aren't even daggers. These are just like
No,
knives.
they're actually close.
they're like the
I will
utility
take
knives.
like
Yeah.
chopping rope.
No, I will be taking a couple of them, but that one, I can do that while I'm down there.
Yeah.
Well, before you set the ship on fire, can you tear off the piece of plywood, however big it is, that's got the name of the ship on it?
Can do. Whereabouts is it?
It'll be
Shoot on the stern,
Okay.
just the back of the boat.
Yeah, we'll find a way to do that.
I have a question. Why are you removing the name?
As evidence that it's been destroyed.
He just like turns and points to the figurehead. That's pretty telling too. I have not seen very many ships with a figurehead like that.
as you look over it is a caduceus for those who weren't aware. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's the staff with the two intertwining snakes, and instead of the wings on the snakes being like angelic, they are like draconic in sort of deal.
Yeah, but one's easier to rip off than the other.
But the figurehead is fucking massive because it's the entirety corner
Yes.
of from there to there, where I feel like the name is far smaller.
That is what I'm saying. Like, if you want to break the name off, like the figurehead can tell just as much. You know, you do you. It's okay.
I think he's implying the figurehead will be found once the fires are drenched.
No, you just misunderstand. I want the name to give proof that it's destroyed.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were doing different thing. Okay, have fun.
Yeah, you spend a couple minutes wrenching a couple of planks, because it's not just one. It's a couple planks, so it's like stretched across, but you get it. It's sort of like a weird, long, thin jigsaw puzzle.
I guess as one final thing before going and burning this thing down, once everything's on, I want to have one more look in the actual captain's quarters to see if there's anything worth taking in there.
The list of all the stuff here includes, like, this is basically looting the whole ship over the course of about half an hour.
There wasn't any
45
extra
minutes.
bottles of wine?
Ironically, no.
Not the bottle of Ghislainian red that she left on the table.
There in this there's a cabinet that's got drink in it, but it's not wine. It seems to be like moonshine.
Yeah, that can stay. Actually, that can be used to light this thing on fire.
You
I
tell
prefer the term gut rot.
Enikaz is the kind of man you can tell, but he brews his own, so even this bottle of Ghislainian red wouldn't have been his.
Arkva has previous knowledge on how to use alcohol to light a building, I assume, so...
Yeah, in all those things of
MO.
terrorism that you've done, yeah, you'd probably understand how to do such a thing.
You did terrorism
Destruction of
before?
private property.
Terrorism, exactly.
It was against a church.
It was this mass arson of corrupt people, which conveniently turned out to be the right thing to do.
Did I find anything on the floating bodies that I've tried to pull in?
No, the few that you can get access to, because you can't exactly jump overboard and swim to them, like, you basically have to hook up a thing and throw out and grab them. You pull them in.
Yeah.
These are just dudes. Like, they're people who were probably, moments before being killed, were probably just walking around on the ship having a good time before something very bad happened to them. As suppose they don't even have weapons on them. None of them are wearing any armor. They're just wearing clothes, and they don't even have like a sack or a bag or anything.
So everyone's back on the other ship at this point.
Like, to those who heard the story, like, you're still impressed that she killed about 20 to 30 people by herself. But it's a lot less like, oh, she just killed 20 to 30 people who didn't fight back.
They were just like sailors.
They were just guys who were on the ship.
So it's a little bit less. I mean, I could just charm
Couple
someone to
dudes
kill
being
5
guys.
people if I wanted. Like,
You think you could take Sylvia to fight?
Probably.
So everyone is back on the other ship.
fight?
Yeah, it depends on what do you guys want Sylvia to do? Because by this point, it's nighttime. They're not gonna, if you want Sylvia to stay on the boat, they're not gonna disconnect the connection.
yeah.
Until the morning when they can sail. So it's up to you how you want Sylvia to interact with your party, I assume. Unless Sylvia's got something she wants to do.
Just
No,
never.
we don't want to do that. We don't want her on this.
Yeah,
we
just
don't trust
never.
her.
I just
We
won't
got
play
trust
character.
issues.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, why didn't you read her mind?
You know what? To speed this up, Arkva will shout out.
Trying to be better.
You've got 5 minutes to get off this ship now that it's empty.
Maybe you should though.
It
You
might
never
still
know.
come up. We're about to have a conversation. I gather the people around who are important to this conversation.
Arkva's just going to be pouring liquid.
He's not a part of this.
We'll have the conversation next to Tara because maybe she'll absorb some information through osmosis, but I
Okay.
highly doubt it.
It is. I'll say it's recommended that you scuttle it in the morning when you're not setting it on fire next to your boat because it's dark out right now. They're not gonna travel
He'll just leave the alcohol there for later.
super far. So
He's
like,
just sort of planning out then.
Okay.
If that's the go.
yeah,
He's like, you got 5 minutes to get off.
that's fair enough.
Yeah,
She sort of just like sits down next to like nearby-ish Tara, like sort of not right next to her, but like at the side of the deck, and sort of just like looks to the rest of the group. It's like,
You sit on the net that they've been using to transport everything down. You're just lying across it like a hammock.
she's like, does she do this often?
I'm just completely ignoring her.
Shrugs.
I hope everyone's out of their goal. I've already done mine, so.
I have not. much to do.
And then the potions were just whoever claimed, which I think.
I
one
took
is-
one. I took one of the greatest.
Whatever ones don't get taken, I'll just put in my inventory.
probably put the animal and the other one in then.
Yep.
It's really good for you to carry a potion.
Yeah. Oh, we need.
Oh,
Do
you're
you
ready to do it.
have a bow to use these arrows?
I need bolts, not arrows. So remember,
I can technically use them.
there you go.
You can throw them really
I
hard.
can- I could throw them very hard. It just they wouldn't work.
Just take them up.
It's one of them and one of. Oh, that shouldn't be two. That should be one.
But yeah,
What did I
Gathered
already have?
for conversation.
What kind of bone is the bone scepter? Is it like whale bone or something?
generic bone.
It's a bone of an animal. You're not 100% sure what kind.
No medicine check can determine.
Don't look.
It's a scepter. It's probably not one bone. It's probably a lot of bones put together to make look like one bone.
It's more of an artistic piece than
So
a.
they made a leg out of like 50 legs.
Sure.
Hmm.
It's a bit- yeah. Go, Osiris.
But yeah, so I assume we're all gathered around. Okay. So we have been asked by the Shroud, which I assume you know, he points at Xavier. Now, calm down, it's okay. Run
Do I-
outside, kind of.
Do I know the shroud?
No.
No?
Know the shroud.
I was listening. You don't know?
Who
Okay,
these?
cool. Makes it way easier. So,
I don't have to explain shit now.
yeah. So, group of individuals who deal in secrecy and subterfuge has requested our help in a civil war happening at the Amarician Empire. We are
Oh.
free to decline if we wish. But in exchange, they offer a reward, whether it be information, a favor, money, etc.
Are the eyes getting involved?
I would imagine the eyes are almost a direct opposite to this faction. Am I
I was gonna
incorrect,
say.
DM?
The eyes are not involved in a civil war.
The shroud.
I meant the shroud.
The Shroud. Well, Xavier asked if the eyes were involved.
In the war.
Yeah,
Oh.
which
Oh,
they are
I
not.
thought you meant. In
I thought you meant the shroud.
Yeah, I'm
Which,
glad
which
we're
to
both
me
on the
makes
same
which
page.
to me makes no sense because they're all shadowy figures which the eyes can't see through. So I mean, I'm just saying.
The eyes very rarely interact without being asked to.
Okay. I can't imagine so. That would be a question for.
So an issue of a civil war would not attract the attention of.
The eyes are police. You don't send the police to fight a soldier's thing.
There were no cops when the red coats were fighting the blue coats.
Might have been on the streets, but
So there were cops, but the cops weren't the ones shooting at each other.
no.
We have also found out the potential location of the cargo that we've been looking for,
I don't like where you're going with this.
which
Where
is
is it?
apparently with Samara Radfang.
Who?
A known member of the cartel, which we assumed that it probably had something to do with them, where they went missing.
Is it documented?
It is
this-
specified in one of these documents, if that's what you mean.
Then I suggest you probably, tell if you get a chance to, probably tomorrow, send a sending
I-
message to
I could send it now if you don't mind me taking the charge of the pearl, Christine, if you haven't used it already.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
This would probably be for the best. Might actually be helpful to get your mother out of the predicament she is in currently.
And that's
They
what's
only
up
ask
for
for
now.
information.
Stop. For now, people here. Just like
Was that
still...
a yes you had used it or not?
I have not used it. No, I give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, Christine is just trying to quieten
Mhm,
Xavier down since there's other people not far away.
She's laying in the net,
Yeah, I know.
cross-legged, stretched out. The whole
Temptation
works.
of cutters there.
Oh man, tell me about it.
We also have a
Screwed.
Spiritual weapon.
location. A location where the he seems to be trying to find words for a very uncomfortable statement. The individual responsible for
Ah,
why I'm not home.
I see.
Okay.
This says that where they are, I don't know if that's currently or for how long, but that is there. We also have something that may need to be decrypted. I don't know how well I'm going to go with that, but I'm going to give it a red hot go. Any questions?
May I see the decryption?
He'll hand the book over. It's got
I
the
wish to make an investigation check.
incorrect recipe measurements.
Yeah, make an investigation check. This is something that'll take time. You can't just like at a glance know it, but we'll say that
Yeah.
over some time you check it.
Alright. Skills investigation.
So
I'm gonna burn a fortune of the many for that.
I'll say because this is over a period of time, you can't use it.
Okay.
This could be like the one of the first checks to it. If you wanted to use it, I'm fine with it. But essentially, with this initial thing, it's the same as everyone else. You realize that if this was like a cooking recipe, it tastes all out of whack. There's too much salt in certain places. You'll need more time to decode this.
Any other questions?
what are we doing with Straggler?
Their services has been offered to us. They apparently have something to take care of here, not within this exact location, but within the locale as well. If we were to take the job, I believe they will be coming with us.
Well, our options are either find a raft or we leave them on a burning ship. I'm saying that they come with us or they stay there. All the same, I'll be taking last watch tonight as I'll make sure it's all ready to go before we set off.
Do you wish to come and introduce yourself to the rest of us then?
Why, certainly. She gets up and walks over. My name is Sylvie. It's very pleasant to meet you all, finally. I must say you are much better looking than the wanted poster. It did nothing in favor of you, especially you, Xavier. I've never seen a hobgoblin in the flesh before.
They always get his nose wrong.
Yeah, they really did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I must say, I am rather impressed. I guess I do
getting-
like the color red.
What are your specialties?
She points to the boat. Points to the water.
You did that?
Yes, they were cartel.
If you're going to be working with us, no killing innocents.
Understood? Do you have any
That's-
questions for me at all?
How much do you know of me? Of all of us?
Okay, let me see. Should I roll a history for that one, or just a rough, like...
You have a rough idea on each of them because you've had some debriefing.
I know that you were originally one of the eyes. I think you may have had a falling out of some sort with that, but I'm not 100% certain. It's all a little bit swept under the rug, so to speak.
Xavier is
And
known as a villain to the eyes now.
you as well, Arkva. You were one of the eyes, and then the church incident, I guess you could say. Christine's probably a little bit more complicated. I don't really know a whole heap about you, and it seems like you'd rather keep it that way. So I'm
It's probably for the
totally
best
fine
that
with
you don't know a lot about me, because if you did, it wouldn't be good.
Understandable. I guess I can sort of. I guess understand that to a point. My own weird sense. Osiris, well, you work with the Shroud, so I know enough. And Terra. Not a whole lot. I know that she has been traveling with you for some time, and I really don't know much else.
She's our wild
That's fine.
card.
I'm
Well,
not
she
here
is
to
wild.
spy on you, so to speak. I'm here to work with you. And I've been
Yes,
told
but your
to.
work is as a spy, so that's one
Personally,
without the other.
more interested in stuff that's going on with the cartel than yourselves. You are all very interesting, fantastic people, but I have no desire to cause issues amongst you.
From where I stand, Osiris, she is not the first spy you've been traveling with.
No.
There was that one that I had a few words with when we reunited.
Mardo?
Hear that maybe they were working with a group of people that did try to kill you, whereas I'm trying to help. But anyhow.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your job here?
My job here.
You said you were here for reasons. What are those reasons?
Well, I did find some information in a journal as I was tracking down about a ex-lover, I guess you could say. I've been on the hunt for him for some time. Found out that maybe he's still around, and there might be someone who knows him who's also still around. Both cartel, well, not so sure about Flint, but you wouldn't happen to know a, now, what was his name again?
I hate it when you forget your lover's name.
It
Not
happens.
Flint. Talking about the other one. Everett Blackhorn.
Flintlock.
I mean, it has been a very long time since I've seen the lover, but anyhow.
And is this for, like, rescue purposes, catching up purposes, elimination
Ex-lover.
purposes?
Let's say I was scorned once, a long time ago, and I'd like to have a word. Yes, settle it.
What'd you say his name was again? Sorry?
Flint.
Me? Flint.
You probably, well, if anyone were to know him, it would be you, Osiris.
Yeah,
Although
I
I
assume
don't.
do I know this individual by this name?
Not a name you recognize.
Flint Elson. I
Met
don't.
him once, maybe?
Honestly, he did kind of fall off the face of the earth for quite a while.
Makes sense, it is flat.
You've been listening to the preachers too much.
But yes, I'm looking for any information on him. I have been given one line that maybe he is still around.
Is
And I'd
he
like
a-
to
Does
see.
he what's what I'm looking for? Has he achieved or been a part of any sort of big event?
He
Does that
killed
make
me.
sense? Oh,
Explanation?
I think he failed.
That's... Yes, he did.
So why
that
did
was a
you
long time
use
ago.
killed?
Insight check.
Yeah.
You won't need to. She grabs the front of her turtleneck and pulls it down just to, like, around her collarbone, like, top of chest area.
How sultry.
And you can see, like, a very, like, a pale white scar. Like, it's been there for a really long time, and it sort of runs pretty much down from her collarbone to, like, between her breasts. I've got one matching on the back as well, but this is the one that I like to show people.
You're not the
Also,
first
what's you
person I
copied
met.
my eye scar.
Sorry, I missed half of those.
You're not the first person I've met who should be dead.
Yeah, apparently they wanted me back, but anyway.
Cyrus, I'm gonna go get some rest if I'm taking the last watch. Keep an eye on her. And
Keep
and
an eye
Tara,
on you too.
if
boy.
you're listening, I think it might be best you let that go. I don't think you're this I don't think you're this foolish. As Aqua's gonna head into the below deck part.
Yeah. You do so.
I don't think I have anything to add to this, honestly.
I have a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you currently engaged, or do you plan to engage in a contract or a dealings of any sort with any sort of extraplanar being?
Do not start this again.
I am saying this because I have been right 100% of the time.
Well, I'm not a warlock.
Good. Thank you. If you were a warlock, it'd be okay. I just need to know. Because you should know my specialty is dealing with said beings.
Pray tell, like, check if you'd like. I'm not lying to any of you.
Inside check.
I was waiting
Divine
for it.
sense. I'm a divine sense. Are there
Inside-
any...
Do I tides?
She is not lying to any of you. She is not lying.
You can tides if you want. That's on
I'm
you.
thinking about it. I'm thinking like, how do I want to enhance myself magically to kind of like sense
Wait,
like any particular thing?
Can you tides?
I can tides on anything.
Yeah, but I thought you hadn't. Cause
She rolled on the
you haven't
table.
rolled-
I roll
Oh,
the
she
table.
rolled on the table?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Again. No one's gonna stop me now. Natural 20.
Yeah, she's not lying.
Damn it.
No, she's not a warlock.
Yeah, she's not a warlock.
Nothing like
she's-
no. I mean, just in general, the sense of like there's nothing to like hide in that aspect.
She is
And that she's telling the truth.
She's baiting Xavier into using his divine sense on her.
Okay. And would there be any particular thing about like how you said like you're not lying to us? Like, was there like any hint that that might be slightly wrong or like maybe hidden? I know it's not
No,
a truthful
she's
lie
trying
detector.
to, like, any question that you ask, she will
Genuine.
give you an answer. She's making it so that if you have any queries or anything, she opens, because like that's the best way to like start
Yeah.
a contract with someone.
As your eyes glow, as your eye glows, Xavier, as you peer into Sylvie, you do not sense any trace of anything that you can detect with divine sense.
So she's not undead. Okay.
Still
You
get that
can't
similar ping
see
of Inferno.
anything at the moment, though, can you? What about now? And she, like, hang on, do I have to do something? One moment.
Another tiefling. That's
Probably this.
crazy. What have we
Yo!
done for that?
As Sylvie says, what about now? What does it look like?
Basically, like, no one's probably noticed so much because it's like nighttime, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, the shadow that she's like, she has stretching behind her just kind of like twitches a little bit, and maybe like it gets you looking, and you realize that it's just a little bit out of shape. Just doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like it fits her.
And Divine Sense lasts a little bit of time, doesn't it, Dimmy?
Divine sense is one action.
Okay. Do you want to do it again?
But yeah, I'll do it again. But I would like to preface: I do have blind sight out for 10 feet, so
Yep, doesn't matter.
it's anything invisible.
When you Divine Sense second time, as you blast out, before where there was nothing, from herself and the shadow that kind of extends itself around her a little bit, like it's stretched a bit long, you get faint traces of aberration.
Oh.
Aberration.
Not by choice.
You're not of this world. That's
I am of this world, but the thing that is connected to me is not.
Oh, a gift. I know those very well.
Yes, it was quite nice not being dead.
Interesting.
So how long was that then?
You want to know how long ago?
You, how long were you dead for? If that's how it's sounding like.
I 3 months-ish, I think. I don't know. I died on a beach. I woke up on a beach amongst some decaying bodies. Fun times.
You are very similar to me.
To what?
I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Should we accept? Where is your nearest contact with another person of your organization?
Gislaine, I presume.
Ugh.
We can't go back there. What the
You
time?
could send. Well, probably not to Gislaine. Funny place that is.
I mean, if we do accept, I've got hookups. We're good.
We good, mate. I got the
For
good.
now, feel free to keep your eye on me if you do not trust me, understandably. And as soon as you meet a shroud number, you can confirm.
It seems a little bit coincidental that we lost a
I know,
party,
right?
and now we're gaining another one. Almost very close afterwards.
Honestly, I was
And-
planning on leaving a ghost ship, catching a raft, and going back to the Kerrigan Isles because I assumed that's where you'd be going next.
Well, your tenacity, I will say, is a point in your favor. And since you are the only living member aboard that ship, I do not wish to leave stranded on or on a raft.
Mm.
Thank you, Xavier. Again, if you have any more weird questions for me about anything, I'm an open book.
No, I think I'm done for now.
I take it you are a close quarters combat.
Yes, I do have a bit of range with the
Arms.
points to the shadow.
Which I assume then also points in the direction of where the shadow would be if it was behind it.
Or in front of
It's
it.
sort of like I guess it does kind of move with her, but it's just still like doesn't seem quite right.
Pog.
Damn sirens.
Well, do we wish to give an
Oh, we
answer
already had
now,
6.
or do we want to sleep on it and we will discuss it again in the morning?
Let's just make it now.
I'll tap my head as I look at you, and if you were to look here and there, it's I'm fine with that. But I'll go to bed.
That's okay. Let me just
Yeah.
tick off a whole second level spell slot.
Go ahead,
Yep.
do it.
Yeah,
Some left.
done.
You're not using it.
Ow.
Clearly not.
Yeah, you're gonna use the pearl for sending.
Alright.
You already used the pearl.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I've still got to do that.
You guys are being surprisingly accepting to like new party members after the last one.
I don't want to be, but the fucker is like the fucker. Like every check I'm making, it's like, yeah, they're fine. They seem fine. Like, yeah, this information is
They're
actually
being
helpful.
very honest.
Like, it's
Look-
the fact that it's like the information as well. It's like we need that,
The
and
fact
they've
that
been.
they've got the shroud behind them,
Yeah.
and we're like, we might not, but I already have ties to the shroud, and
That's the thing, yeah.
I'm
So I'm
pretty
just like,
respectful of it, and haven't had too much in the way of issues with them. It's only been good. Carries a lot of weight.
and that's exactly why my guard is like very fluctuating because like Osiris is perfectly fine with like that organization, and I'm here like they have information and they're giving it to us, just wanting to do something and potentially even wanting to do something they want to do, but not actually like demanding that they do it either. Like, it's very, I hate it.
So I'll go through everyone, and like in their heads, they'll hear yes or no, and they can think yes or no, and I'll know.
Yeah.
It's one yes.
There's a very like delayed and reluctant like door from Christine,
That's two.
and I hate that she's saying that. She probably hates herself for saying that.
Tara's brain is just G.
Yeah, I go to do Terra's
I
brain, it's
thought-
just that staticking. I'm like, yeah, nah, I learned the first
Turn
time.
that off.
I thought Tara's brain was stare at the mast, stare at the mast.
The last time I tried to look at her brain, it was just like hyperactive, the epitome of like ADHD brain, where it's like that. I just couldn't keep up.
ADHD or neurodivergent? There's a difference.
I'm not
wrong.
entirely sure what one it is. I don't know enough on the subject.
Could be
I'm
both.
gonna insight to see if I can tell whether or not you'll detect thoughts in like not detect though, you're messaging people.
I have a passive.
Nah, she's just like
I'd
at
be
this
inclined
point,
to say
she's-
no.
She's purposefully like looking away from all that's going on and just like looking out at the sea.
Oh, pretty bird.
I will say from Arc 4, you. How many words can we give?
As much, I'm looking into your brain. It's not so much you're responding.
Ah,
Yeah. Think answer.
and you're just like, I trust Osiris. That's like the only thoughts there at the moment, and also let me sleep.
Take that as a yes.
I mean, it's filled with other thoughts, but you don't need those.
I realize I'm not missing anyone now, because Terra is
Yeah.
just. Yep.
G.
It's great.
I'll turn to Sylvie. Seems like we're all on board.
More or
Oh,
less.
good. I'm more than happy to stay in a place for now where you are able to keep watch on me if you would prefer.
I
Look,
hate how willing she
If
is.
you do anything, you're stuck on a ship with no one to help you.
That is a very good point. I'm not going to do anything, just making you feel more comfortable.
Comfortable is hard with the information I now possess.
I apologize if the ledger I gave you dug anything up.
I'd rather know than not know.
Knowing is half the battle. She just like goes and sits down at the
Salute.
net again.
As you,
While, so after that, after the yes, before Arkva saunters off, before Christine saunters off.
I mean, he left pretty early, to be
Arthur's
honest.
sauntered.
Yeah.
He is well and truly sauntered.
Arthur left long before anyone
Yeah.
else.
I
I'll
haven't
go-
left yet though.
I'll go wake him up later. You already know Christine. Already told you. I'll tell Terra in her head, not expecting too much, but just to say that I never didn't say anything about what the eye patch does, and that I'm giving it to Xavier, and it means that I won't be able to detect his thoughts, and we won't be able to tell if he's lying, but he will be a bit more perceptive.
Honestly,
He has
I
no
feel like
lie.
Osiris would know. Arcva's just gonna trust his judgment. So
Yeah, you know what? After being in your thoughts, that's going to be that's your response to 90% of conversations.
as you, I assume, hand the eye patch off without much of a like, just here. Here's what it does.
Yeah, I'll be like, all right, this is what it does. So,
Good night.
yeah, I don't say much. Like, I go to say something, I'm like, no, don't say anything. Trust is trust.
I was asking if I could choose for my, thoughts to be read.
You can.
I can
choose whether or not
allow-
you-
The creatures creatures can communicate only if I allow it.
Yeah, but
Yes,
that's
if he messages
telepathically.
you.
That's not.
It's like you hear a knocking on the door of your head and you can let them in if you want.
No, you hear a ringing and he picks up the phone.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit!
Alright, so you hand that
So,
off. Xavier, you get that. Is there anything else
Yeah.
anyone else like to do tonight before we end the night?
Yes.
I
make
would.
it to the next place.
All right. Okay.
Wait,
Pause.
but
Pause.
I'm happy
Is
to
it-
being later.
Is it a long thing?
It's
It
a
is.
conversation with Terra.
It is ascending. Which is only 25 words or less, both ways.
All right. I'll ask if how in depth of the conversation is. Is this a one-sided? You're going to talk to Tara while she's staring at a mask, not responding?
Depends, it might be. I'm not quite sure.
Alright, go ahead.
But
Do
it-
the thing
yeah,
real
the-
quick.
We can wait until later, because like until next time, because it's just gonna be a conversation about Selena.
Might be best till next time because then it'll
Yeah.
be tomorrow and then she might respond.
Yeah.
I'll do that then.
Alright.
It's been 2 days or not?
It's only been
It was
one
one
day.
day.
This
Oh.
is still the same day.
You also only asked for 1 day, weren't you?
2.
2 days.
Oh.
I'll support to stare at it for 2 days, so she's gonna go 2 days without sleep staring at it.
I'm gonna make you make saving throws to try and stay awake, because that's just boring.
Yeah, alright. So do you have what you want to send, Osiris?
More or
Okay.
less. I'm hoping it's not 25 words, but I'm winging it.
Go ahead.
Who are you sending to?
I would like to send a message to. I gotta remember her name.
Maria
Maria
Arianta.
Ariante?
Yes, thank you.
Fuck.
Auntie.
Not here.
Hit me. What's the message?
She's evil here.
We have information on what happened to the vessel. The cartel is behind it. Samara Redfang apparently has your file fluid. Weird word. Currently not sure where she is. Have just discovered it. I'll leave it at that.
Thought you wrote
Alright.
it in my head.
There is a little delay, as you're used to, as the person who receives has to think of the words to send back.
So late.
There's always a little bit of a wait.
No response.
Listen, I have to actually type out the fucking 25 words
You
myself.
can
Click
take 2
burn.
weeks to get back to me. I know we should do that.
And that's what the session ends. Thanks
Alright,
for joining.
Tara, if you want to roll a con check for us to see how awake you are this evening.
Con save.
A con save. A con save, yeah.
You're proficient in those.
DC.
Good? No.
You know what? That's fair enough. Right? You stay up at night.
It's wisdom and intelligence, isn't it?
That's 2 levels of exhaustion on me
Isn't it
now.
like
Let's go.
wisdom and dex?
You can survive another 4 nights.
Right?
As the party all starts going into positions to have a rest, will end with the message back. As Darren finishes the few last words that he's typing out.
Start the next
You
session.
hear a response, which is, "The cartel in Red Fang? Good to know. I'll have my people look into it where they can. Consider the deal paid.
What?
Tell Christine she's awake."
That's where we'll end the session.
Oh,
That's why you didn't want to wait till 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
You want to get mad? You want to get real mad?
I do actually. I do want to get
Oh,
that.
table.
When he tells me I'm rolling on that table.
For the people who aren't viewing us, because no one does, just for Christine as well, me and AJ made preemptive checks to see how long it would take her to naturally break through the effect. On the very first check, she rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god. She got out on
Roughly
her
a
own.
week after you left her.
You fucker!
Holy shit!
I could have avoided all this.
Could have.
That's hilarious.
Told you we can move.
That's actually hilarious, and I hate it. Thanks, guys. Well, at least now I have someone I can directly talk to. That's great. Fuck.
You can talk to your mom.
I don't need to talk to Dad anymore. Dad sucks.
But I want to go through this quickly because I have work tomorrow
Go for it.
morning. So, do any other streaming people have any streams that they want to promote?
Well, no.
Yeah, not really.
I'm
Yeah.
doing a stream tomorrow.
Twitch.tv/Cicero.
Gonna do more poker memes tomorrow. Gonna beat Erica. I think we're in Saffron City now. I forget where the story is in this game.
And Sam's
Nuts.
lying. He does stream. Snowfox AU. Look at him.
That's-
That's great.
On a study break and a semi-study break.
But you do it every now and then.
At least
And-
4 times a week sometimes.
And this
Jesus
is
Christ.
twitch.tv/NoxSkyfall for Dimmy. You can join Kay whenever we do her streams. She's on
I
twitch.tv/StarClusterK.
always give a different perspective of the exact same shit if you give a crap.
Tomorrow is DK64 potentially. I might not stream because A, Zelda, and B, I might be too tired for work, and A, Zelda.
And Zelda.
Zelda. Let's be honest.
It's probably not.
Maybe
I'll
it's
probably be
harder.
too tired to stream. But Tuesday is something we'll have to think about. We need to discuss if what's happening. If worst comes to worst, it's Monster Prom. Always can't go wrong with that. So yeah. Wednesday is Monster Sanctuary. It's a fun game. Thursday is Halo Combat Evolved Part 1 with Kay. It's gonna be a good time. Thursday.
Be Chiefs of Masters.
Thursday. And Friday will be session 10 of
Damn.
Guardians Rebirth, our homebrew Isekai D&D campaign. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, much to the chagrin of everyone here,
Fuckers.
for session 48 of Echoes of the Forgotten.
I'm stitching to burn something.
Yeah, close to 50.
We are.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. Well, welcome back to our regular scheduling, and we will see you all in 2 weeks' time. Well, bye.
Cheers.
Bye.